on something of a roll with 2 straight dramatic wins over the rival Dodgers. Now they face interleague rival Oakland and its ace Trevor Cahill. He's 6-1 and second in the American League in earned run average. It's the Babe Ruth Series. Game 1 next. The Giants at long last are back home, and that has been a rarity in the 2011 season. They've played fewer home games than any team in Major League Baseball. Tonight, it's the All-Bay Area matchup, the Giants and the Athletics. Hello, everyone. I'm John Miller with Mike Krukow, and the Bay Area is abuzz tonight. All roads leading to AT Park. We've got the San Francisco team, the Oakland team, and with both teams, we have a lot of pitching.
Well, great pitching. In fact, coming into today's ball game, the A's lead the American League in overall ERA with a 2.86 team staff ERA. That's amazing. Giants are third in the National League with a 3.32 ERA. The similarities of these teams are unbelievable. The A's ranked 12th in the American League in hitting. They're hitting 339 or 239. The Giants, they're ranked 12th in the National League, hitting 241. The A's ranked 12th defensively. They've made 33 errors. The Giants, they ranked 12th defensively. They've made 30 errors. The key in this game tonight is catch the ball, scratch out a few hits, and hope your defense supports your pitching. And the Giants will be up against one of the best in the American League, Trevor Cahill. He may not have the name across the country yet, but he really is emerging as one of the premier pitchers in the American League. Well, he comes into tonight's ball game 6-1 record, ERA under 2, and this guy is a ground ball machine. If you think back to Brandon Webb, the great sinker baller with the Arizona Diamondbacks, in his heyday, he was as good a pitcher as there was in the game. Well, that's Trevor Cahill, and with a little bit better fastball right now. So, you know, the Giants know they're in for a pretty good game, just trying to elevate some of those ground balls. But however, they too are throwing a hot pitcher with Ryan Vogelsong, who comes into this game 3-0 and an ERA in the 2s. So, you know, it's going to be all about pitching. Once again, whoever catches the ball the best in this game is going to win this game. All right. So, National League ballpark, National League rules. The A's will not have the designated hitter tonight. Now, we're going to be in the moment. Giants and A's here tonight. However, in a moment, NBC Bay Area news anchor Raj Mathai will take us back to the thriller last night. Nate Sherholtz with a game-saving catch. Raj Mathai with Nate after this.
Xfinity. Xfinity is TV, internet, and voice services that work together so you can enjoy everything you love anytime, anywhere, and any way you want.
Here we go, Friday Night Baseball right here on NBC Bay Area and the Giants Television Network, and it's all about the Bay Area tonight. The A's making the short drive across the Bay Bridge here to AT Park to take on the Giants. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Raj Mathai. We are inside the Giants dugout, and when you think about this now, throughout the course of this long season, there are certain plays that give a team a boost of confidence, and in this game, confidence is everything, not just for the players, but also for the managers. Now, last night, Madison Bumgarner got his first win of the season, thanks in part to two people, Nate Scherholz and Bruce Bochy. Bottom of the ninth, that diving catch by Scherholz. Had he not made the catch, the game would have been over. The Dodgers would have cleared the bases, but Scherholz did make the catch. Big hats off to Bruce Bochy because he had his outfielders come in and playing very shallow. Bochy said he wanted to play that game to win, and he played it perfectly. As for Scherholz now, always soft-spoken, but he knew he did something special last night. We spoke with Nate just a few moments ago.
Yeah, it was exciting. When I went back and looked at it, it was a little different than I remembered it. I thought the ball was right in front of me, but it had sliced a little bit. So it was risky, but you know, when you react, you don't really think. So it's probably the positive of not thinking too much.
Nate Scherholz with a nice smile this evening. He is in the starting lineup tonight. In fact, they said after Dodger Stadium last night, they got on the team charter, they turned it on ESPN on the airplane, and there he was, one of the top plays in the country. Scherholz and the Giants ready to go against the A's. And speaking of the A's and Giants, Miguel Tejada, one of the many players to play for both sides of the Bay. We'll check in with Miggy next.
Xfinity is TV, internet, and voice services that work together so you can enjoy everything you love anytime, anywhere, and any way you want.
A beautiful shot of China Basin on this Friday night. Another sellout crowd expected and making its way into AT Park. We've said that so many times this season. Good evening again. I'm Raj Mathai. We are ready to go between the A's and Giants, and we've been ready for the A's and Giants for decades now. 71 players in the history of the A's and Giants since moving to the West Coast have played for both teams. Orlando Cepeda, Willie McCovey, Vida Blue, more recently Barry Zito, and now it's Miguel Tejada. His glory years of his career were in Oakland. He's trying to rekindle his career here in San Francisco. It's been a sluggish couple of months for Miguel Tejada, but in this last week, he's come on strong. We spoke with Miggy just a short while ago.
Just the game. You know, there's a long season, and whatever happened 1 week or 1 month, it don't mean nothing. You know, the good thing about and the good thing been great for me. We've been in the top of the division the whole time. You know, and even not hitting, but we play a good baseball. That's what really we care about it. And you know, my swing coming up, my hit coming up, and we got 4 months gonna have left, and we cannot worry about what will happen in the last month. We just what gonna happen in the day coming.
Well, from San Diego and Baltimore, Houston and Oakland, now in San Francisco, what's different about the culture with this franchise and this team?
Well, this team, you know, this team is a winner. Everybody now they believe that they had a group of guys. That's a great organization, and the organization believes in each guy that they have, and I think that's why we put a hard work in the field. And I mean, the same thing. I think the most important about this thing is the fan. The fan is the one that they always support. The ballparks are always full, and that's why we come to the field every day 100% to be playing a good baseball.
You had a lot of characters in Oakland when you played across the bay, from Giambi and Zito, all those guys. You have a lot of characters in this clubhouse now too.
It is a lot of character, great jump group of guy, and I mean it's really fun. It's really fun to be playing, you know, in this team.
Miguel Tejada, the MVP of the American League in 2002. Coincidentally, that was also the same year Barry Zito was the American League Cy Young Award winner. Miguel Tejada turns 37 next week, hoping to still have some magic left in that bat. Tejada and the Giants facing the A's should be good. Game 1 of the Bay Bridge Series. First pitch and starting lineups coming up next, right here on NBC Bay Area.
The Giants atop the National League West with a record of 24-19.
Well, right now we're going to take a look at the key ingredients for this game. They're brought to you by Round Table, where there's flame, there's flavor. With Round Table's new fire roasted pizzas, let Round Table fire one up for you today. And the first one against a sinker like Cahill, you have to look up. Hopefully he makes a mistake. He's a guy that's going to throw a lot of ground balls. His team may be tired, but energize quickly. The way you do that, get this crowd into the game quickly. You do that with offense. Number 3, against a sinker ball, you've got to open up the running game. You've got to move those middle infielders out of position. And those are our key ingredients of the game, brought to you by Round Table.
Fans still coming in here at AT&T Park as retired series long ago, a sellout. Let's take a look at the Oakland batting order turned in by manager Bob Guerin. Coco Crisp leads off in center field. Derek Barton at first base. David DeJesus, the former Kansas City Royal, in right field. Josh Willingham spent the last few years in the National League. He's in left field. Kurt Suzuki, the catcher. Mark Ellis at second base, hitting 6th. Kevin Kuzminoff at third base. Last season, he hit .500 against the Giants. I guess fitting for a former San Diego Padre. Cliff Pennington, the shortstop, bats 8th, and Trevor Cahill, the pitcher, is batting 9th against Ryan Vogelsong.
And these are the numbers for Vogelsongs in 4 starts. 3-0, 2.36 ERA, 24 strikeouts in 26 2/3. He's allowed 28 base runners in 26 2/3 innings, and that's outstanding numbers. 3-to-1 strikeout walk ratio, and the way he does it is by spotting a fastball that'll go 90-93. He can 2 and 4 seam the fastball and give you a curveball, a slider. I mean, a cutter's a great pitch for him. He'll throw that pitch a lot to lefties tonight, and also a changeup, and he'll throw that anytime. He's not a guy that's going to try and add when he gets into trouble. He'll try and subtract. And that's what pitchers do. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Ryan Vogelsong tonight. In the outfield, it'll be Ross, Torres, and Sherholtz. Good arms across the board, especially in right field. Fontenot and Tejada. They'll be on the left side of the infield. Sanchez and Huff will be on the right side. Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad putting down the signs. And Ryan Vogelsong looking to get this 6-game homestand on the right track. He's been throwing great baseball, and when he's going right, he likes to throw a quick pace. And if this game is going like we think it's going to go, it's going to be a very fast-paced game. Both pitchers like to work quick, so pressure really is going to be the defense, because both pitchers like to pitch to contact. You'll see a lot of balls in play tonight.
So here we go, the first interleague interlude of 2011 for the Giants and the Athletics, the All Bay Area matchup. That is gloved nicely by Aubrey Huff for just an uncomfortable moment there. I think that looked like an extra base hit for the very fast Coco Crisp.
Now, the way Sherholtz is playing towards right center gap, if this ball gets down the line, it's probably a double, maybe even a triple. But a nice play. I mean, first pitch of the game, you're trying to get settled in, and here all of a sudden Aubrey Huff gets tested. We're going to call that the Giants defensive coverage. It's brought to you by Verizon Wireless, the fastest 4G network in America. Nice pick.
Derek Barton now just below the knees, according to John Tampane. There it is again. What a play by Aubrey Huff, and he just barely got it.
He used every bit of that big old first baseman's glove.
That is at the knees for a strike.
He's talking to first base coach Ty Waller, saying, you know what, I just caught this on the last piece of leather.
Strike 2, and it's not unusual to see Barton keep the bat on the shoulder. He's very particular. He gets a lot of walks. He, so far, though, has not been getting a lot of hits. His batting average is .217. He has walked 26 times, so he's on pace for another 100 walk season. That curveball in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Derek Barton. The Athletics have been in the news a lot here for the last few days. Not the kind of news they want to be involved in, because their vaunted pitching staff has suddenly become decimated with injury. 3 of Oakland's top 6 starting pitchers have gone down here recently. Just inside. It's a full count now, 3-2 to Barton. Dallas Brayton out for the year, underwent surgery. Now, just today, they placed both Brandon McCarthy and Tyson Ross on the disabled list, 2 of their other starters. Here's Bob Guerin. Struck him out the only time he swung. The high fastball puts him away on a foul tip. Tyson Ross pitched yesterday as a starter and only went 7 pitches into the game against the Minnesota Twins.
An oblique injury, and boy, you talk about a nightmare to a manager and a pitching coach when your starter goes down 7 pitches into a game and your bullpen has to eat up 9 innings. And the A's really had to bring some extra arms into tonight's ball game, and basically they have a 9-man bullpen.
They made 6 pitching moves today. There's a called strike. They put 3 pitchers either on the disabled list or optioning to the minor leagues. They sent Tristan Magnuson, who was one of those pitchers who pitched yesterday in long relief and got lit up. He got sent to Sacramento as De Jesus takes strike 2, 0-2. They added 3 relief pitchers, Joey Devine, Faustino de los Santos, and a left-handed Jerry Blevins. All were brought up from AAA today. There are the moves for the Athletics. 2 down, nobody on. Ooh, that was a close one.
Excellent pitch. Very early on, it looks like Vogelsong has command of his pitches. He's established the changeup and the breaking balls, and now he's going both sides of the plate with the fastball. And in an 0-2 count, you cannot throw a better fastball than that. That's a paralysis fastball. It sets up the inside corner. It sets up a backdoor breaking ball.
1-2 the count to De Jesus, the third place hitter. 2 down, nobody on. Whoa!
Now that's that backdoor cutter that he likes to use. And that's what that paralysis fastball will set up. We know that John Tampani has a low ball umpire, and he can be tight. And this ball could have easily been called strike 3. It would have been a pitcher's pitch. It's a coin toss caller. It's right either way.
2-2. Andres Torres, and that's all for De Jesus. 3 up and 3 down. A strong beginning for Vogelsong. Up here on a beautiful night, cool and windy, but beautiful nonetheless in San Francisco. The Giants batting order now brought to you by Dodge, never neutral. Andres Torres leads off center field. Freddie Sanchez second base. Aubrey Huff at first base. Buster Posey hits cleanup. The catcher Nate Scherholtz in right field, and a .409 career average for him with a couple of home runs. And he's an East Bay native against the Oakland Athletics. Cody Ross in left, Fontenot at short, Tejada at third, and Vogelsong is the pitcher batting ninth against Trevor Cahill. And there is strike 1 called to Torres.
Now you're going to see one of the best sinkers in baseball tonight. Trevor Cahill, 23-year-old, 6'4", 225-pounder in his third year out of Oceanside, California. And he's a ground ball throwing machine. Let's take a look at the numbers for Cahill. He's off to a tremendous start here in 2011. A 1.82 ERA and 6-1 record. 46 strikeouts against 18 walks. And that's very unusual for a sinker baller. They're usually 1-to-1 walk strikeout ratio. He's got a curveball. You just saw an outstanding changeup. And if anything, his curveball's gotten a whole lot better this year. He's got 2 really good strikeout pitches off of that sinker, and that's the curveball and the changeup.
2-2 now on the foul ball to Andres Torres, hitting .298, 1 home run, 3 batted in. He'll be followed by Freddie Sanchez and then Aubrey Huff. The wind is blowing out towards San Francisco Bay. That fastball just off the inside. I asked Bruce Bochy, I said, is there a National League pitcher that would be comparable to Cahill? And he thought about it for a moment and said, well, Brandon Webb when he was healthy. But Cahill, he said, throws harder than Webb. There's ball 4. Pretty good trip to the plate there for Andres Torres. He becomes the first base runner of the night.
Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Cahill tonight for the A's. It'll be Willingham, Crisp, and De Jesus. pretty much average arms out in the outfield all the way around. Pennington and Kuzmanov on the left side, Ellis and Barton on the right side, and Suzuki will be in the squad doing the catching tonight for the A's.
Freddie Sanchez now. The A's have been very tough to steal against. But there goes Torres. The strike, the throw. He's got the steal. He's going to go to third. Crisp thought about it, then thought better of it. And just like that, Andres Torres has turned a walk into a three-bagger.
Well, that was one of the keys tonight. Open up that one running game. We're going to make this our Ford Right Choice, brought to you by Ford. The right choice for California. See your California Ford dealer or visit yourcalifornia.com today. Bruce Bochy being very aggressive. They know the ground balls that Cahill throws, and they're trying to stay out of double plays. And they get a break here with that ball going into center.
So now the middle infielders stay back for the Athletics as Sanchez takes the ball. That first pitch on which Torres stole was a called strike. Ground ball to the middle infielders, either short or second, would get a run home here. Here you see how they're playing it. There's that sinker. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
The old saying, how do you hit a sinker? Well, you look up, because you know the sink is going to take it down around the knees. If you could get one that starts off at the belt, it's going to wind up above the knees, and that's the one you want to hit. The one that starts off just above the knee, by the time you get to it, it's halfway down your leg. See you later.
Just got a piece of that breaking ball and off the edge of Suzuki's glove. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Aubrey Huff on deck. The Giants with a half-game edge over Colorado. Colorado is actually playing the only National League game tonight. They are in Milwaukee. Well, that should get him home, and it will. Ellis throws out Sanchez, and that's a beautiful situational at-bat by the veteran, and the Giants have a 1-0 lead.
Well, it really is. I mean, and he did it in a 2-strike count. Cahill went after him with a break him on the outside corner, and you could see just how much swing that Freddie Sanchez took out to hit that ground ball. That's where you take advantage of the defense. They lay back with a run at third, hit it up the middle, and he did. Good job.
Freddie's 15th RBI of the year. Here's Aubrey Huff now. 1 out, nobody on. Plenty of room out there for Coco Crisp. Out number 2.
Let's take a look at Toyota by the numbers. Toyota is the most fuel-efficient fuel line auto manufacturer and the best full line auto manufacturer as well. Period. Buster Posey, last 8 games, 414 average, 12 for 29, and he raised his season average from 241 to 277. And that, my friends, is a good road trip.
So Buster, who has not been getting extra base hits, he finally got one last night. His first double, his first extra base hit of any kind in the month of May. That was a double in the 2nd inning, and he ended up scoring the Giants' first run. Cahill off the outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Colorado is in Milwaukee and holding a 4-3 lead in the top of the 8th inning. Back of Jason Hamill. Hamill helped his own cause with a home run in that game. And you know who else homered? The man who homered 3 times yesterday.
Giambi.
Jason Giambi, the Giambino.
Great Giambino.
Homered again.
Red hot.
It's a walk for Buster Posey. That's 2 walks now by Cahill. That's a little unusual.
Well, he's only got 18 on the year coming into tonight's ball game in 60 innings. So indeed it is.
He's averaged a little over 2 walks per 9 innings for the whole year, and he's walked 2 in the first inning tonight. So here's Nate Scherholtz, the man who hails from the East Bay, and as we saw when we gave the lineups, he has done well against the Oakland Athletics, the East Bay Major League team. Playing over here in San Francisco tonight on Orange Friday. That's called strike to Nate Scherholtz. 270 average, 3 homers, 11 batted in. Nate made a play last night that Brian Wilson got credit for the save, but the actual save was all Nate Scherholtz. The bases loaded, the Giants ahead by a couple of runs and a would-be base hit. He made the headlong dive and made a spectacular catch to end that game. What a play it was. Curveball. Ooh. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Now we saw that he didn't give it to Ryan Vogelsong, and he doesn't give it to Cahill here either. Backdoor breaking ball. A lot of umpires will give up on this pitch. A little wraparound curveball.
Off the end of the bat. And the left fielder, Willingham, was there. That one fooled Coco Crisp. 1-0 Giants.
DeRosa, he has re-injured his left wrist. This was a couple of nights ago down at Dodger Stadium. He has a torn tendon. Mark DeRosa will leave the Giants on Sunday or Monday and travel to Cleveland to visit with a specialized surgeon. That's on Sunday or Monday. And gentlemen, the last 2.5 years he's been battling this wrist injury. The disappointment you can see, not only from DeRosa but from Bruce Bochy, but in typical DeRosa fashion, he is here at the ballpark in the dugout trying to keep a smile, even though this could be a career-ending surgery for him as early as next week. Back up to you guys.
Well, we'll certainly send our thoughts and our best wishes to Mark DeRosa when he makes that visit. The torn tendon is not the same spot on which he had those 2 surgeries. So it's another injury in a very similar place, but not the same one. 1 ball and no strikes to Oakland cleanup man Josh Willingham. And a fastball. He had a big rip at it right back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. Willingham used to be with the Marlins, then more recently with the Washington Nationals in the National League. And a powerful right-handed hitter, which is one of the reasons why Oakland went out and got him. Hitting only .230, 6 home runs, and a club leading 25 runs batted in. He's big and strong. Suzuki on deck.
I think he's got a perfect body for a hitter. I mean, he's broad-shouldered, short-armed, strong, 6'2", 215-pounder. Short arms are an advantage in this sport. Quicker stroke, easier to repeat.
Got in on the hands nonetheless. No. Freddie Sanchez made a great effort on that one. Might even have gotten a glove on it. And he's a little slow in getting up out there. Remember, he was having some trouble with his left knee when the Giants were in Colorado.
No, nice pitch by Vogelsong. Gets up the bat towards the label. It's an idea of how strong Willingham is. And Freddie Sanchez almost pulled off a miracle. Boy, they were lucky they didn't collide.
That is an extremely dangerous play when you got 2 guys going out, 1 coming in, 1 going out. Here is Kurt Suzuki, the Oakland catcher. 1-0. The Giants are ahead, and there's a called strike. Some second baseman who've been around a long time They'll go out so far on a ball like that, and then when their inner clock says, I think the outfielder is probably about to destroy me, then they'll veer off even if they don't hear from the outfielder. Freddie Sanchez, though, totally focused on that ball and nothing else, and no collision, thank goodness. It's a strike. 0-2 to Suzuki.
Boy, two well-placed pitches. Fastball outside corner followed up with a nice little cut fastball. He's in a nice slot tonight. He's got good command of everything.
Vogelsong 3-0 with a 2.36 earned run average coming into this game. This is his 5th start for the Giants. They've won all of his starts up till now. That is a sinking fastball down and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, and that's just an example of what a pitcher will do. The first pitch of this at bat was a cut fastball that had movement, was slightly away from Suzuki. Then he enhanced that movement with a cut fastball, went on outside corner. Then he goes the inside corner with 2-seam movement, with movement that'll go in towards the hitter. 3 pitches, 3 fastballs, 3 different types of movement.
Pulled that one foul as he went in on the hands again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tomorrow's game is a 4:05 start, or 4:10, I guess, officially. And Tim Lincecum will go against Brett Anderson, and then a 1:05 start on Sunday with Jonathan Sanchez for the Giants, Gio Gonzalez for the Athletics. This is just a little interleague interlude. All the teams in baseball will go back to playing within their leagues after this weekend. That one also foul right past Mike Gallego, Oakland's third base coach. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's Gallego. He was with those great Oakland ball clubs in the late 80s into the early 90s.
Good baseball man. He'll be a manager someday.
Nobody out. Runner at first. Willingham, who had the bloop single.
She's ready.
Bring it on.
Now, if that's your date and you go to pick her up and she's got a catcher's mask on, makes you think.
Could make you a little insecure. Strike 3 called.
Wow. Thank you very much. He set up way outside, and they go backdoor with the sinker, and that looked like it was low and outside. And John Tumpain said, look pretty good from here. So Vogelsong gets a break.
Second strikeout for Vogelsong. 1 away, 1-0. The Giants ahead. Here is Mark Ellis. Ellis hitting only .205. A lot of low batting averages on both of these squads. Runner at first, 1 out. And the slider low and outside for ball 1.
Well, Vogelsong's going right back out there. I don't blame him.
John Tumpain, the home plate umpire, and apparently that is the correct way to say it. Not Tumpani, as we had somehow thought. C.B. Buckner, Dale Scott, Jerry Meals on the bases from first to third. And it's 2-0. Around baseball in the interleague schedule, there's been a lot of wild action. The Dodgers are playing at Chicago against the White Sox in a game that's not really wild. It's just tight and tense. You see it on the hand-operated scoreboard out there. The White Sox are leading 3-2 in the top of the 9th inning. On the south side of Chicago. Popped up foul right back toward us, and short of the second deck. 2 balls and a strike. Also, you may have seen as we take a look at the regatta. I guess the beer can regatta is going on, as it often is on Fridays during the baseball season. The finish line is the entrance to McCovey Cove. But the Rockies have been tied by the Milwaukee Brewers. It's 4-4 now in Milwaukee in the last of the 8th. Troy Tulowitzki was ejected from that game in the 8th inning. That is a swinging strike 2. Casey McGee from Santa Cruz hit a home run for the Brewers to tie that game. Minnesota at Arizona. Minnesota took 2 from Oakland the last couple of days over at the Coliseum. Now they're in Arizona. Michael Kadire has hit a home run. 1-0 Twins. Last of the 5th at Chase Field. 1-0 Giants here. Back to the screen.
Trying to stay on that inside part of the plate.
Ryan Vogelsong, who got moved into the starting rotation when Barry Zito was injured, making a dive for a popped up bunt. Vogelsong has definitely made the most of his opportunity coming back to the big leagues after a long absence. Barry Zito is throwing again and trying to do his rehab and get back from his injury as the ball is down and away, and it's a full count. Brian Sabian apparently said yesterday on KNBR, the flagship Giants radio station, that Zito will not just be handed his spot back in the rotation. Giants are going to go with whoever has earned the spot. Right now, Vogelsong is making a good case for himself. Runner goes, and that ball is pulled foul, very much foul, all the way into the upper deck.
Well, you want to find great ticket deals for future Giant home games? Well, all you have to do is visit the dynamic deal page at sfgiants.com/dynamic deals. Check out the deals for the upcoming National Series and the games versus the Dodgers, Phillies, Cubs, and more. The dynamic deals start at only $8. Again, that's sfgiants.com/dynamic deals.
Back to the bag at first is Willingham, who was running on that last pitch. Giants are home for 6 games. So far, they've been sort of the perpetual road team in the major leagues. They've played more road games and fewer home games than any team in Major League Baseball so far. And a 6-game homestand here, after which they go on the road for 7 more road games. Are you kidding me? There goes Willingham. That's a base hit to right field. Willingham's going to try for third. Sherholtz with the strong arm. It's there, and he's out. What a throw!
You talk about strike 3. You know, not only does he have a quick release and a strong arm, but his accuracy is uncanny. And it had to be. You know, Willingham, I mean, he's off and going and hit no hesitation as he rounds and challenges Sherholtz. And look at the throw. All Tejada had to do was catch the ball, and Willingham was out. A remarkable throw of accuracy. Wow. They're going to throw that ball out. I think it's the 1,000th
career hit for Mark Ellis.
Got it. Thanks for picking me up there, partner. I got locked into a Teutonic state there.
I was thinking they were going to tell us about some milestone for outfield assists. Then I thought 1,000. I must have missed most of those.
Well, I thought it was. I heard 1,000. I thought it was a hit, but then they threw the ball to the Giants' dugout. I'm going,
Yeah, the 1,000th runner cut down by Nate Sherholtz. I knew it was a lot. I wasn't quite sure that it was that many, and it's not actually. So, congratulations to Mark Ellis, his 1,000th base hit, and I think he probably has about half of those against the Giants.
Seems like it. That was an outstanding at bat. 3-2, go the other way.
Kevin Kuzman off the hitter. 1 ball and no strikes to count.
And he torched the Giants last year.
Ooh, the changeup for a strike. 1-1.
You can see his backside lead. He was definitely sitting on fastball.
Giants ahead 1-0 here in the 2nd inning. Oakland with a couple of hits in the inning, but Nate Sherholtz rides to the rescue again. Fontenot to Sanchez for the force out on Ellis. The inning is over. Cody Ross will be coming up. 1-0 Giants.
diving save at Dodger Stadium. Tonight, we just saw it in this last half inning. And then a couple of years ago, also against the A's, June of 2009, that accurate and deadly arm getting Jack Hanahan trying to extend a single into a double. Nate Scherholz with some excellent glove work. We know his defense very well. Last couple of years, Scherholz happened to be in the lineup, and he pays dividends when he's in there defensively. Gentlemen?
Well, we've seen it firsthand here the last couple of games. Although last night, even as well as Scherholz has played out there, as much as he has impressed us, last night was something that was a cut above. Strike one from Cahill to Cody Ross as we start the Giants half of the second inning.
Backdoor sinker. I mean, you could not run it up there and place it in a more perfect spot than that last pitch.
Ooh, now that might have been his pitch to hit right there. 0-2. Cody hitting .253.
Big movement, and you see it early and you think it's outside, but it just keeps working back to the strike zone. You cannot give up on that pitch.
And the breaking ball way outside in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, one more look at Nate Scherholz's brilliance on Ultimo. A perfect strike. And Tejada just catch it, drop the glove on the foot. And Willingham, who I'm sure thought he had that thing beat. That was a surprise to Willingham.
Classic style there by Tejada. The runner tagged himself out. Just how far outside was that, when you think?
Oh, about a half a ball.
2-2 the count. Willingham back out in left field now. 2-2. He threw the bat at it and popped it up right to Mark Ellis.
That's hard to do.
All things being equal, I'm sure he'd just as soon not have.
Well, he's saying that ball hit the ground, and Bruce Bochy's going to come out and argue it. Now the umpires are saying that was a pop-up, and they're right. Cody Ross is contending that it hit the ground first and then came up off the ground, but that clearly is a pop-up. That's the right call. Umpires are, we're going to huddle it up.
So the bat hit the ground, but if it hit the ground, then he's got a base hit.
Right.
If the ball hit the ground after he hit it.
But it did not. I would be surprised if they overturned this.
This is not one where they can go in and review the video. But, of course, that doesn't stop us. We can review it whenever we feel like. So Ross holding his ground at first base. And C.B. Buckner's coming over to tell him, sorry, good try, you're out. And you see the plate umpire, Tumpeng, signaling out. Good try by Cody.
Oh, excellent effort. That worked in the Texas League.
Now maybe he really thought that it did hit the ground, because the bat hit the ground. Maybe that he heard the sound and thought that that was the ball bouncing high off the ground. Fontenot takes ball 1. Dodgers and White Sox are now in a tie game. Last of the ninth. Russ Mitchell homered for LA in the ninth inning to keep them alive. Derek Barton takes that one unassisted. Fontenot is out number 2. And the former A's shortstop, and he was a great one for them for a long time, Miguel Tejada. Tejada hitting .438 the last 4 games.
Well, and a week prior to those last 4 games, he was hitting the ball hard. He wasn't getting anything that would go through. So he knows that his stroke's good, and he expects big things to really start happening for him. He was talking about it yesterday.
Ball 1 from Trevor Cahill. 1-0. The Giants ahead here in the second inning. I mentioned that Dodger White Sox game because we just saw some video on one of the in-house monitors, and they've got a heavy fog at the Comiskey Park on the south side of Chicago. If I was the Dodgers, I'd be disappointed, because what's a heavy fog compared to rain and 30-mile-an-hour winds and temperatures around 40 degrees, which the Giants played in when they were in Chicago last week. 1-2 now. The big bender in there to Tejada. Dodgers got into Chicago. They probably got to their hotel room about, what, 7, 8 o'clock this morning, Chicago time. Good eye there by Tejada. 2-2.
Yeah, they were scheduled to land around 6:30, which puts them right into rush hour traffic, which means the drive from the airport to downtown Chicago is about an hour and 15 minutes.
So you felt a lot of empathy for them. I could read between the lines.
Sorry, I was trying to hold that back.
3-2 the count to Tejada. Well, the Dodgers could have played that game in the afternoon yesterday. It was their home game. Still 3-2. Brian Vogelsong on deck would be next.
Giants got in about 1:30 last night, so everybody got to bed around 2:33, which is about the normal time guys go to sleep when they're on a night game schedule. So it wasn't that big of an inconvenience for the Giants.
Struck him out. First strikeout for Cahill. 3 up, 3 down, onto the third inning. Pennington coming up against Vogelsong.
Every night at 10:30 p.m. Comcast Sportsnet, authentic Bay Area sports.
And with Mike Krukow, this is John Miller, your Giants telecasters on the NBC Bay Area Giants television network. Raj Mathai, NBC Bay Area news anchor, also here with us. And it's the All Bay Area interleague matchup, the Giants and the Athletics. The Athletics from the American League West. One game back of the Texas Rangers at the beginning of the night. Everybody's just all bunched up in the American League Western Division right now. And the Rangers lost their interleague matchup to the Phillies tonight in Philadelphia. 3-2 Phillies over the Rangers. That was the World Series perhaps that Phillies fans thought they were going to see. So a good matchup, but perhaps a year too late for the Phillies as the Giants beat them, and they then played the Texas Rangers in the World Series. Cliff Pennington, Oakland's shortstop.
It's a good target by Posey. Stays down. Gives you a lot of glove.
Look at that curveball. Big drop-in curveball.
You know, when you're given a sign as a young catcher, I mean, a lot of guys give you kind of a half glove where it's not completely open. That's what you want to see. You want to see a big old pancake up there. Show that catcher or show that pitcher a lot of target. And be quiet, be still. Both catchers tonight, excellent targets.
Swing and a miss, and he put it right to the target. Third strikeout for Vogelsong.
Giants baseball is brought to you by Carl's Jr., introducing the under 500 calorie charbroiled turkey burgers. They don't taste healthy, and that's just the way it is. New at Carl's Jr.
They taste like bad.
Ooh. That's good.
I'm in. Here is Trevor Cahill. It's a strike. 1-0. The Giants on top.
Well, they say Cahill is a pretty good hitter. The A's have not been able to get a lot out of their pitchers over the years in interleague baseball.
The cutter off the outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Why do you think that is?
They just don't hit. 092. 111 strikeouts and 249 at bats.
It's hard to imagine how they got 23 hits when they never get to hit, except in interleague play. Freddie Sanchez, nicely done. Cahill's bid for an infield hit taken away.
Watch it right into the backhand. He knew he had time. Cahill not coming down the line, so he gets himself set. Nice little flip throw. And a 3-pitch out, which is a quick out for a pitcher. If you can get a guy out in 3 pitches or less, you've done an exceptional job.
2 down, nobody on, and the leadoff man, Coco Crisp, stands in. He hit the first pitch of the game for a would-be extra base hit, and Aubrey Huff made a nice play on it. And the curveball for a strike.
You know, baseball's always had colorful names, but you're not going to get any better than Coco Crisp. I'm sorry.
So my son Alex, when he was a kid, Coco Crisp first came along, knew nothing about him, just heard his name, and immediately his favorite player.
That was his guy. Of course, Alex had Cocoa Krispies every day for the first 11 years of his life. So, you know.
Yeah, Coco Crisp. Didn't taste healthy.
No. Just tasted good.
2-1 the count to Coco Crisp.
And he really has been their most valuable player. The A's, who have really had a problem scoring, this guy has been very consistent offensively. A couple of home runs, 15 RBIs.
Came in hitting .278, 13 steals. Cody Ross. And that is the inning. 3 up, 3 down. 1-0 Giants. Vogelsong coming up. Then the top of the order. Third inning from AT Park. The Giants leading the Athletics 1-0. As Ryan Vogelsong leads off, followed by Andres Torres and Freddie Sanchez against the Oakland ace right-hander Trevor Cahill. Vogelsong can hit, and he continually proves that. 3 hits, 9 at bats.
Well, since Vogelsong has come into the rotation, I mean, the hitting has improved dramatically. They're all starting to swing the bat.
Jonathan Sanchez has become and actually not just the guy flipping singles into shallow left field, but hitting extra base hits.
3 doubles.
Madison Bumgarner got a rally started last night in L.A. 2-1 the count to Vogelsong. Giants have not had a hit yet, but they lead the game 1-0. It was an Andres Torres production in the first inning. He walked, stole second, and on a wild throw took third, and then scored on a ground out. That's called strike. 2-2. Strike 3 call.
Good curveball. Well, let's go to Xfinity Game Vision. Remember the Xfinity Game Vision? And you too can control the action at home, control the video using play, pause, fast forward, rewind. May 13th, Coco Chris tries to steal home versus the White Sox, but was tagged out by A.J. Pierzynski. Xfinity Game Vision is powered by Xfinity TV with On Demand, the only place you can catch complete replays of every Giants game all season long. Just tune to Channel 1.
There's a drag bunt. And he got him. Derek Barton made the diving tag on Torres, and now Torres is talking to C.B. Buckner about it. I think he must feel that Barton missed the tag.
If he got him, he just scraped him with the top of his web. And C.B. Buckner had a pretty good angle at it.
Two down, and Freddie Sanchez. He got a hit.
Take a look at the Andres Torres play one more time. Again, if he got him, it was just a little bitty piece. And in looking at that angle, it didn't look like C.B. Buckner could tell. And from that angle, it didn't look like he got him. So Andres Torres, pretty good beef.
I don't think he got him. Time taken now, as Freddie Sanchez is still working on his gloves over there at first base after being hit by the pitch. He's got a special glove he puts on when he becomes a base runner for sliding. So Aubrey Huff now will stand in. Two down, Sanchez at first. The Giants ahead 1-0. Huff hit a fly ball to center his first time. Just missing with that changeup.
Not by much. You know, that piece that Freddie Sanchez wears on his glove, if you're a head first slider, I mean, it should be mandatory that you wear that to protect your hands.
Ooh, the foul tip got a piece of Kurt Suzuki. 1-1. Most guys sliding into bases slide in hands first down.
Yeah, I think it's the norm. But you really, really subject yourself to possible injury in your hand and your wrist, thumb. You see it every year.
Longtime major leaguer Rudy Law, who was a base stealer, excellent base runner, came up with the Dodgers originally. I saw him at Dodger Stadium this week and asked him about that. He said he never would slide hands first, because he was afraid of getting one of his fingers broken or his hand broken. He said nothing good can come of sliding head first. Huff is gone. We head to the fourth.
the most notable person in this ballpark tonight isn't necessarily Brian Wilson or Tim Lincecum. It's in the A's dugout. We're talking about Hideki Matsui, the first-year A's slugger. The A's were hoping he would have some better production offensively from their designated hitter and their Japanese star. But they also knew that he would come with an entourage everywhere he goes in Oakland and across the country. A big gathering of Japanese media follows him. He has a full-time translator that also travels with him. But Matsui hasn't been productive this year, and he's very upfront about it. Says, you know what, to get back into that starting lineup, he needs to produce. And John and Mike, we were speaking some Japanese before the telecast began. John, you want to take us out with a half an inning in Japanese?
It's just more of a party trick, my Japanese, but I learned a little Japanese years ago going to Japan when I was a single person as a base hit to right for Derek Barton, who did not swing until he'd seen 5 or 6 pitches his first time up there, and he struck out. He went for the first pitch this time and has himself a base hit. Third hit for Oakland, and Ivan De Jesus coming up, the third place hitter in the order. So I learned things like, hello, my name is, what's your name? I'm very pleased to meet you. Are you single? Do you live alone? What's your phone number? Would you like to go dancing?
Well, those are good things.
And it never really paid off for me over in Japan. Yeah. I heard quite often, I'm very sorry, but I'm busy. The busiest people I've ever run into, let me tell you. Every person in the country apparently was busy for a 2-week period.
Sorry, pal, I'm busy.
0-1 the count to David De Jesus. But a lot of baseball fans in Japan. It's a huge sport over there. And Matsui was at the top, the most famous player and most admired player in Japanese baseball, and he was a giant, the Yomiuri Tokyo Giants. He's not running. Aubrey Huff, if we let it drop, I think an easy double play, because De Jesus was just disgusted and never ran to first. One away.
Giants baseball is brought to you by the things we make. Make us Jeep.
One down. Here is the cleanup man, Josh Willingham. Those are definitely, I'm thinking definitely Giants fans who really favor Pablo Sandoval. What do you think?
Oh yeah, they're big on the Panda.
That's a called strike to Willingham, who singled his first time. Giants ahead 1-0 in the 4th inning. There's the Panda. He's been with the ball club, rooting his teammates on, working out.
No, he wasn't the only Panda in the ballpark today.
Really? How many Pandas are there?
Well, I mean, there was an even bigger Panda than our Panda.
That's hard to imagine.
I think that may be why he's so upset. Looks like he's about ready to fall asleep. Panda, wake up, pal.
And the curveball misses. 1 ball, 1 strike to Willingham. Well, which Panda is bigger than the Giants Panda?
Well, it was the Kung Fu Panda. He was here at the ballpark today taking a stroll, and he's huge.
You mean there really is a Kung Fu Panda?
Yeah.
I thought the Kung Fu Panda was a cartoon character.
Well, he has come to life.
That's foul. Oh! Pablo Sandoval meeting the Kung Fu Panda before the game. He is big, but
yep.
Very happy.
Yep, if ever the two should meet, and there they were.
What a moment, an historic moment before this game. 1-2 the count to Willingham. High and tight, 2-2.
All right, let's check out our ball, dude. I got it. Yeah, well, whoa. You're supposed to wear spikes, not boat shoes, meat. That's Rick Bellison. We got to send him some spikes. He's going to get hurt down there.
Yeah, or send him some Advil, maybe. 2-2. Change up for the strikeout.
That's good. That's such a good pitch for Vogelsong. The first time the Giants had him before he was traded off to Pittsburgh, he didn't have this pitch. This is a pitch he picked up a year ago, and it really has made a difference. It gives him all types of freedom. He doesn't feel pinned into a fastball and counts when his other stuff, his curveball and slider isn't working. He's always got another pitch he can go off of the fastball with that changeup. And then he picked up the cutter, and that's another look that, you know, has given him another option.
Kurt Suzuki, strike one. Runner at first. 2 down in the 4th inning. Barton led off the inning with a single. But De Jesus popped out, and now Willingham has struck out. The Giants lead 1-0. The Giants, who have not yet had a hit against Cahill. Threw a fastball right by him. 0-2.
Such great location. I mean, he hasn't made many mistakes with the fastball out over the middle of the plate. I mean, he's been on the corners. When he's missed, he's been missing off the corners, away or inside, depending on where he's throwing. But look at the location, right between the knees of Buster Posey, and he's been between the knees all night long.
0-2 the count with 2 down, runner at first.
They want the elevator.
1-2.
That's not that easy of a pitch to throw. I mean, you get geared to knee-high command, and that's a release point that you work hard to get. When you throw up across the shoulders, I mean, you alter that release point. And some guys, it's a very difficult pitch for them to throw.
Well, that one worked the way he had hoped. Strike 3 on the high fastball. Buster Posey coming up.
And some of the Giants stars up tomorrow. And let's take a look at how Brandon Belt's doing at 25 games at Fresno, hitting .380, 4 big flies, 7 doubles, 20 RBIs, a .519 on base percentage, and a .620 slugging percentage. He is tearing up the PCL. Xfinity Future Focus is brought to you by Xfinity TV, Internet, and Voice reinvented.
Brandon Belt lighting it up down there, that's for sure. Buster Posey, who was lighting it up last year when they brought him up. That's a fair ball down the right field line. De Jesus will have to go in and get it. And Posey is already standing at second with a double.
Well, you know it's going to start happening for him when he lets the ball get deep. Stays inside it, goes the other way. All the classic things that you see from a great hitter. Knob lead, head stays still. Look at the balance between the legs. I mean, absolute perfect distribution of weight through the ball. And I mean, he smoked that ball by Barton. He had none chance.
And that is the first hit of the game for the Giants against Trevor Cahill. And this is a big spot now, a chance to lengthen their lead. Scherholz needing to move him up. And the change up, a foul. It's 0-1.
Good changeup right there. I mean, and that's the approach you have to have if you're a right-handed hitter hitting off of Cahill's fastball. It's big sink. It's going to come back to you. If you try and pull it, it's going to run up your bat. You're going to have a miserable night rolling over, hitting ground balls with a shortstop. Stay inside it like Posey. You're going to drive the ball the other way. Great at bat.
Trying to either drive in Posey or at least get him over to third. High and tight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sherholtz flied out to left center his first time. Nate had the same scenario last night in the second inning at Dodger Stadium after a Posey leadoff double, and he was not able to move him up. Cody Ross on deck. Low and inside. 2-1. The Rockies and the Brewers, by the way, are now in the last of the 10th inning in Milwaukee, tied at 4. The Dodgers have gone ahead of the White Sox with a 3-run 10th inning rally. 6-3 LA. 2-2.
Cahill's used that outside corner with that backdoor break and a lot to the left-handed hitters the Giants have had tonight. And Sherholtz way out in front on that off-speed pitch.
Posey leads away from second. Cahill checks him. Oh, man. So a very disappointing at bat for Nate Sherholtz.
Well, a non-productive out with a runner at second, nobody out. Cahill was pitching for the strikeout. Goes down in the dirt trying to bounce this on home plate. And he gets a man to fish. Well, we want to say welcome to Ray Fosse and Glenn Kuiper, the voice of the A's broadcast on TV. And today it's Glenn Kuiper's birthday. So, Glenn Kuiper, happy birthday, meet.
What is he now, 60?
52.
Happy birthday, Glenn. Cody Ross. And there's ball 1. Giants ahead 1-0. They got a run in the first inning. Andres Torres walked, stole second. Went to third when Suzuki's throwing into center field. Freddie Sanchez brought him home with a ground out. Now they're trying to get Posey home. He's at second with 1 out after his leadoff double. No pickoff play developing there, as Ellis had broken in for a would-be pickoff play. Cody Ross popped up his first time. Mike Fontenot on deck. Ellis, nicely done, very smooth, and Posey over to third. So there's I think the demonstration as to how key it would have been for Sherholtz to get Posey over to third. Had Posey been at third, he would have been able to score on a ball like that.
Now, and he knows it heading back to the dugout. But now it's up to Fontenot to try and pick up Sherholtz. Hey, you watch Mark Ellis come in on the ball. I think he's as good as anybody coming in on a ball like we just saw him come in on. Great balance. Good player.
Fontenot grounded out to first his first time. The changeup, ball 1. The last night with 2 down and Posey at second base, Fontenot hit a double to knock him in. That was the first run of that game in L.A. Fontenot had been swinging the bat well. And really it kind of started when he came in for the injured Mark DeRosa. Cahill threw his best fastball to Barton for the putout, and the Giants waste a leadoff double by Posey. 1-0 Giants. World Champions Walk. You can etch your loyalty in stone. The Giants unveiled plans to create a World Champions Walk in recognition of the 52-year journey that led to the Giants' first World Series championship here in San Francisco. The tribute will encircle all 4 plazas around AT Park and will feature granite markers depicting epic moments from throughout the years in San Francisco. There will be 4x12-inch brick pavers providing fans with a chance of a lifetime to forever etch their Giants loyalty in stone here at AT Park. You can order or get more information about that at sfgiants.com/brick. You could also call 1-855-734-3267. Some of the proceeds from the sale of the pavers will benefit the Giants Community Fund. Mark Ellis gives one a long ride. Torres plays the carom. It's a double for Ellis.
Wow, that thing took off. I thought off the crack of the bat it was off the sweet spot and up towards the end of the bat, and I had no idea it was going to get this kind of carry. And I think it surprised Andres Torres. I always know that in this ballpark you will get carried to the center field. And that surprised everybody but Mark Ellis.
Mark Ellis, who came into this game hitting .205, is now 2 for 2 in the game. So a runner at second, nobody out. The Giants were not able to get Posey home after his leadoff double in the 4th. We'll see how the A's do here. They trail 1-0. Kuzminoff at the plate. Ball 1. Kuzminoff hit into a force out his first time with a ground ball to short. One run, 1 hit for the Giants. No runs, 4 hits for the Athletics. This is the first time that Oakland has had a runner in scoring position. That's a foul out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Willingham was at second base back in the 2nd inning for just a moment as he went from first to third on a single by Ellis. He went to third, but he did not make it safely at third. He was thrown out by Nate Scherholz.
Vogelsong going to attempt the same thing that Cahill did last inning, and that's strike out a guy with a runner at second, nobody out.
Just a bit low. 2-1. Pennington, the switch hitter, the 8th place hitter, is on deck. There is Ellis after his leadoff double, his 10th double this year. And that sinker down and in.
Now when he misses, he hasn't been that far from the strike zone, and he's been down. And I think he doesn't really care if he walks him here with an open first base.
3-1 the count to Kuzminoff, who hit .500 against the Giants in interleague games last year. And that is back into the crowd. 3-2.
That guy's busy. I know one thing. He's got whatever you need, pal.
He's got the foam fingers, the panda gear. There's a customer. 3-2 the count to Kuzminoff with Ellis at second. And the off-speed pitch is yanked foul. More action for our ball dude down there. He's had a busy night.
Rick Bellison making friends down there. There's Rick. Great night for a heavy jacket. Been cool all across America. May has been a very cool month around the major leagues.
3-2 the count. Down the right field line, slicing foul into the Virgin America party suite. Get their own souvenir down there.
Oh, if you get a right-hander up, you just don't even think about a home run to right field. Since this ballpark opened up in 2000, there have been 32 home runs hit out to right field by right-handed hitters. I mean, that is not a whole lot.
Yeah, what's 3 per year? That's it.
3 a year.
And I think the conventional wisdom was that big wall out there that right-handed hitters would be feasting, scraping balls off the Willie Mays wall, just like the way left-handed hitters at Fenway Park have been hitting off the big green monster in left field for all these years. But it has not worked out that way, as Posey talks it over with Vogelsong, who's in quite a battle here with Kevin Kuzminoff.
Well, and this is a big pitch, and I like what Posey's doing. He's coming out here and he wants to find out exactly what location Vogelsong has in mind. Knows what pitch, but he wants to know what location. And I think he may be telling him, listen, if you walk him, it ain't the end of the world. Try and strike him out. I think it's an 0-2 pitch.
Well, he did walk him. So the A's have first and second with nobody out, the 8th place hitter, and then the pitcher. The next 2 hitters due up.
Well, for comprehensive coverage of everything orange and black, check out pregame live and postgame live before and after every Giants telecast on Comcast Sportsnet, authentic Bay Area sports.
Giants lead this game 1-0 in the 5th inning, and Vogelsong is in a jam really for the first time. Pennington struck out his first time. Switch hitter hitting .233. Giants middle infielders, Fontenot at short, Sanchez at second, pulled in a bit, double play dead. Huff. A high throw to second, not in time. He pulled Fontenot off the bag, and everybody is safe. The bases are loaded. Fontenot arguing with second base umpire Dale Scott about that assessment.
Well, it's going to bring Bruce Bochy out. The throw was wide. Fontenot's 5'8". He doesn't have a great wingspan. Good call. He was off.
Bruce Bochy out because anytime an umpire makes this call, he's going to get some flack. But that was a little bit different than the neighborhood play. He was well off the bag.
And it was a legal slide. You saw the left foot of Kuzminoff come over the bag at second.
They're going to score that as an error on Aubrey Huff for pulling Fontenot off the bag. So now the bases are loaded, and you talked about it at the top of the telecast, Mike. Both ball clubs with excellent pitching and not a whole lot of offense right now. Defense could be one of the keys, and the Giants have made an error in a big spot here.
Well, it's created opportunity. Fortunately, they have a pitcher up there with a chance to get a double play. For Vogelsong, he'll pitch for the strikeout. The strike one is so important here.
The middle infielder is looking for the double play. They'll give up a run to get the 2 outs. A little bit low. Ball 1. Ellis led off the inning with a double to center. There's Bob Guerin, the Oakland manager. Kuzminoff followed with a walk and then the error. And the bases are loaded. The Giants lead is 1-0. Coco Crisp, the leadoff man, is on deck. That's a strike.
Big pitch right there. Now you pound the lower part of the zone with sink and try and get that ground ball. You get to a 2-strike, then you pitch for the strikeout. I guess that's what we're watching Vogelsong try and do. Saw Cahill make contact in his last at bat, hit a ground out to Freddie Sanchez.
Whoa. Man, that's a very small strike zone suddenly. So he's behind on the count to Cahill with the bases loaded and nobody out. Fouled out of play. Cahill looks like a guy who can handle the bat a little bit.
Yeah, he does. Well, 4 pitches, all 4 fastballs. He hasn't shown him a breaking ball yet. Now with 2 strikes here, he'll definitely pitch for the strikeout.
Ellis at third, Kuzminoff at second, Pennington at first, nobody out. Giants are pulled in to the edge of the grass at the corners, third and first. Double play depth up the middle. There you see it. 2-2. Outside. Cahill has refused to go out of the strike zone. That's a double play ball. Sanchez to second one. Fontenot to first. 2. A double play as the tying run scores. Ellis comes across. Kuzminoff to third.
Big play. So he stayed with the fastball throughout the whole at bat. So it was clear to me. I mean, I had assumed he would pitch for the strikeout. He did not. He was pitching for what he got. He got the ground ball. So indeed, like you suggested, John, they would give up 1 to get 2, and that's exactly what they got. Now they have a chance to get out of here with allowing just 1 run with the bases loaded, no out. They'll take it.
And I remember hearing pitchers talk about seeing Greg Maddux do that and what an impression it made on them. Where Maddux said, I'll give away the run because I don't want to give away 2, 3, 4 runs in an inning. Here is Coco Crisp. Changeup for a called strike. Crisp is 0 for 2 in the game. Runner at third, 2 down. And I think it says something about Ryan Vogelsong there. So he got that double play. And most managers will tell you, hey, bases loaded, nobody out. You consider yourself lucky if you can get out of it with just 1 run scoring.
Indeed.
0-1 the count. Too high. High stress inning for Vogelsong. This next pitch will be his 20th of the inning. And he's been under duress since the very first batter of the inning. Mark Ellis hit a double over the head of the center fielder, Andres Torres. He's been out of the stretch and runners in scoring position ever since. Look at that one, a beauty.
Good
Sharp breaker for a strike.
Good back to a breaking ball. But, you know, he's no baby. This is his 14th year. He's throwing over 1,500 innings coming into this year. And as you see, a perfect backdoor breaking ball drop in the zone. So he knows how to minimize damage. But this is the hitter right here. This is the one where, if you're the A's, you can really maximize the momentum turn.
And the fastball is wide. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Coco Crisp, who has been really the best hitter for the Athletics among all the regulars this year. Chance to be an RBI man right now. Kuzminoff, the possible go-ahead run at third. And Vogelsong working real hard in this inning. And the breaking ball, a check swing, an appeal denied by Jerry Meals, the third base umpire. Full count.
Boy, good pitch, good take. And with that, Dan runs are going to head down to the Giants bullpen and get greased up.
Another left-handed hitter, Derek Barton, is on deck. Crisp, a switch hitter, batting left-handed at the plate. 1-1 the score here in the 5th. A moment ago, the Athletics had the bases loaded and nobody out. And then the run scored on the double play ball hit by Cahill. So Vogelsong trying to end the whole thing right here. His 23rd pitch of the inning. There is Sanchez covering up, and the inning is over. 1-1. Tejada coming up. Honda dealers come in today for incredible deals and a test drive. For details, visit shophonda.com. The only National League game in Milwaukee, it's 4-4. Santa Cruz's Casey Miggy homered in the 8th to tie it up for the Brewers against the Rockies. In the All-Florida, the Marlins over the Tampa Bay Rays. The Phillies beat Texas in Philadelphia. The Pirates clobbered the Tigers in Pittsburgh 10-1. Neil Walker had a home run for Pittsburgh. And Miguel Tejada takes high for ball 1. Elsewhere, the D-backs with a 6-2 lead over Minnesota, top of the 8th in the desert. In the All-Ohio, Cleveland came from a 4-0 deficit and beat Cincinnati 5-4. Right now, the Cleveland Indians are red hot. Seattle leading San Diego, top of the 6th at Petco Park. In the All-New York, the Subway Series, Mets 2, Yankees 1 at Yankee Stadium. There's a called strike. In that ball game, R.A. Dickey got the win over Freddie Garcia. Teixeira homered for the Yankees' only run. And Murphy homered for the Mets. Got the call on the outside. That call has not always been made in this game. 2-2. Miguel Tejada struck out his first time. Ryan Vogelsong on deck. We got a 1-1 tie, last of the 5th. And a foul. 2-2. Some other scores in this first day of interleague play. How about this one? The Washington-Baltimore rivalry. Washington, a .223 team average. They beat the Orioles 17-5. They hit 6 home runs at Camden Yards. 2 of them by Jason Worth. And the Red Sox, the Cubs visit Boston at Fenway for the first time in nearly 100 years. It didn't work out well for the Cubs. Not tonight anyway. As Tejada grounds out to Ellis. 1 away. Doug Davis, Bay Area native, lost to John Lester 15-5 the score there. And up in Canada, Houston beat the Toronto Blue Jays 5-2. Elsewhere, the Dodgers in extra innings beat the White Sox 6-4. They tied that game in the 9th inning and then won it in the 10th. The Angels are clobbering Tim Hudson in Atlanta as the ball is fouled by Vogelsong. And in the I-70 series, the Kansas City Royals shut out the Cardinals. The Cardinals, who've been hitting extremely well this year, get shut out by that Kansas City ball club, which has played well this year. 0-2 now to Vogelsong, who struck out his first time. And Jeff Francis, the former Colorado Rocky, got his first win as a Royal tonight, beating Chris Carpenter. And that hard breaking ball taken. Was there a swing? No. C.B. Buckner didn't even give a signal on that one on the appeal, as if to say, are you kidding? Were you going to ask me about that one? Why don't you just go ahead and ask me if the world's going to end tomorrow? 1-2 the count. That slider is low and outside. 2-2.
It's the same sign for no, he didn't go, or no, it's not going to end. I hope.
Yeah. 6 o'clock.
AM or PM?
6. I heard 6 p.m. I mean, I didn't hear. I read that whoever's predicting it is saying 6 p.m.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what time zone, though.
Oh.
Eastern time.
Well, we better hit the streets tonight after the game, then. It's our last chance.
Eat, drink, and be merry. Mark Ellis. And Vogelsong is retired. And another, you make a good point, though. Why should tonight be any different than any other night for you and me?
Well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to tune in to NBC Bay Area Wednesday night, May 25th at 7 o'clock for the Giants and Marlins. And all month long, May NBC Bay Area's Jessica Aguirre and Raj Mathai bring you a special series of in-depth investigative reports. Discover the Bay Area's most compelling stories weeknights at 11 on NBC Bay Area.
Raj Mathai, NBC Bay Area news anchor, part of our crew here tonight. 2 down, nobody on. Andres Torres against Cahill. 1-1 the score. And that changeup in for a strike. Check swing by Torres.
It was giveaway wearable blanket night tonight.
Oh, tonight. That's, we've seen a lot of people wearing them.
Good curveball. That curveball's come alive. It wasn't as crisp early in the game as it is now. That last pitch for Cahill, number 67. And they said that his curveball much different this year than last year. It's better. It's quicker, later breaking.
1-2 to Torres, who has walked and scored the Giants' only run. Torres' speed was the whole deal on that run. He stole a base, went to third on a wild throw, and scored on a ground out. 2-2 the count. He tried to drag bunt his way aboard, and he thought he had done it, eluding the tag of Derek Barton. But C.B. Buckner thought that Barton had made the tag. We could not find a shot in slow motion on replay that indicated that, in fact, he did make the tag. 2-2 the count. Strike three called. That one snapping back and over the inside corner. 6th inning, Barton to Jesus Willingham coming up.
Maybe it's just a Bay Area wide thing here. The Sharks putting their fans through some torture tonight down in San Jose tonight. The Sharks hold off a furious third period rally. They beat the Vancouver Canucks 4-3. This game just now final. That means this game and this series is once again tight. The Sharks still trail 2-1, but game 4 this Sunday at high noon in San Jose. The game can be seen right here on NBC Bay Area. So the Sharks beat the Canucks tonight 4-3, just barely, gentlemen.
Kick save and a beauty.
Yeah, well, congratulations to the Sharks. That's a huge win as they get back in the series.
They showed the score on the big board here. I think it said 13 minutes to go. This is a while back, and it was 4-1 at that time. So as Raj described it, a furious rally there by the Vancouver Canucks, but they fell a goal short. So the Sharks are back in the game in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And a lot of people think that those two teams are the best two teams in the NHL this year. 3-0 the count. Tampa Bay and the Boston Bruins are in the other conference final. 3-0 the count to Barton, in for a strike from Ryan Vogelsong. The Colorado Rockies are still playing in Milwaukee. It's 4-4 in the top of the 12th inning. Sergio Mitre is pitching now for the Brewers at Miller Park. 1-1 the score here. Popped up foul. That will go back out of play. 3-2. And the Giants bullpen is going to go to work right now. There is Ramon Ramirez, a right-hander heading down.
Now the next pitch for Vogelsong will be number 85. Well, I like the last two pitches he threw. He had a 3-0 fastball. He went to the outside corner, then 3-1. He went to the other side of the plate, inside corner. Really got in tight to Martin. That's what he can do. He can locate that fastball. He can pitch with it.
DeJesus on deck. Willingham due up third. Popped up. Foul. Posey starts back, but it's into the crowd. 3-2.
You know, when you watch a pitcher develop, I mean, usually they come up with a fastball. Pretty much most of the guys feel most comfortable in a four-seam grip. Don't really understand the two-seam. They get to the big leagues and they start looking at how guys utilize the fastball. And basically a fastball can be a lot of different pitches for a pitcher. He understands the grip and he understands location and how it applies to swing types. It's the best pitch that was ever invented.
Foul ball. All the way to the bricks at the back of the lower deck seating area. 3-2.
Then guys pick up a changeup. Then they pick up a cutter. Study hitters, study swing types.
So you're saying that for you the best pitch ever invented is that two-seam.
Well,
fastball.
It's the fastball. Four-seam is just as good as a two-seam when it applied to the right swing, right location.
Oh. Now, see, I don't think a guy should be rewarded for taking a pitch like that. That ball, now maybe it's a little bit high, but when you're calling such a narrow strike zone, that pitch is a strike. You got to call that a high strike and a low strike.
Well, Bruce Bochy agrees with you.
The ball's not that high.
But Trompane really hasn't been an umpire that's called many belt high strikes. He's been around the knees with his strike calling for most of the night. He's a low ball guy.
Well, I don't think low enough. I want to just give him a little advice. Showing bunt is DeJesus, and taking a called strike, it's 0-1.
Well, I'll tell you something about the A's. I mean, how often do you see your third place hitter try and bunt? It says that Bob Guerin, the skipper for the A's, thinks that Ryan Vogelsong's a pretty good pitcher. He also thinks his team didn't swing the bats real well.
DeJesus, the third place hitter, 0 for 2 in the game, is flied out to left center and popped up to first. And back to the bag is Derek Barton. Barton, a guy who I think they thought he was going to be a power hitter. He's a first baseman. He's a corner infielder. But he has not hit a single home run this year. He's a guy who he hits more like a leadoff hitter. Gets a lot of walks. High on base percentage guy. But he does not run like a leadoff man. He has not stolen a base this year. One strike to count to DeJesus. Tejada has moved in at third. He's in on the grass, and time is taken. And he looks over at the third base coach, Gallego. DeJesus, they were really hoping that he was going to come in and hit 300 or thereabout with a good on base average, and he still may, but it hasn't been there yet. That curve is bounced foul to the Oakland dugout. 0-2.
Well, I mean, DeJesus was in Kansas City a long time, and the first time you go to another club in a trade or as a free agent, it locks you up, and some guys it just takes a while longer to get to that comfort zone. I mean, he's a lifetime .289 hitter, so his track record is such that you know he's going to hit eventually.
Well, they wanted the high fastball, but that was very much out of the strike zone. One ball, 2 strikes with nobody out, a runner at first. These last 2 innings have been very stressful for Vogelsong. He's had to throw a lot of pitches. He's thrown 34 pitches these last 2 innings, and there is not yet an out in this inning.
Wow. Close. I mean, you know, the thing about it is when you're pitching out there and you make a close pitch to a corner, even if you don't get the pitch from the umpire, you're thinking, how is a guy going to take this pitch this close to the strike zone in a 2-strike count?
Yeah. I think it's wrong. That one, okay, I'm saying that's fine. That other one was strike 3, the one above the belt. You can't reward him for taking that with 2 strikes. 2-2 the count. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
That's it. I'll say no more.
Anyway, I like to say stuff like that when I'm around you anyway, a former pitcher.
I know, it fires me up. I mean, I'm hanging there with every word there, John. I'm with you on this. I'll fight for you.
2-2 the count. Barton still at first. Huff on the bag with him. DeJesus battling it out here with Ryan Vogelsong and the umpire. Here's the pitch. Back a little bit. Torres in a little bit. Out number 1.
Well, the Florida Marlins are coming here next Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday afternoon. There's only standing room tickets remaining for the games on Wednesday night and Thursday, but some good seats are still available for Tuesday night. So check it out. Matt Cain's going to be on the hill, and it's going to be a lot of fun, so we'd love to have you out here. All you have to do is go to sfgiants.com and check out the Fish coming into town Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
The Marlins, game and a half back of the Phillies over in the National League East after play tonight. It's a very good ball club with some outstanding pitching. Giants are in a stretch right now where they're facing a top-notch starting pitcher every day. There's a curve for a strike to Willingham. 0-1 the count. They saw Kershaw and Billingsley in L.A. Cahill tonight with Oakland in town. Tomorrow, Brett Anderson, a tough lefty. Gio Gonzalez, who is really, some people think he'll end up being the best of all the Oakland starters, which is saying a lot. He goes here Sunday. Willingham pops that one up. And Tejada ended up falling to his left as the wind was playing tricks with it.
Well, Dwayne Kuiper calls it the pop-up dance. And when you look at the infield, there was about 5 guys doing the pop-up dance. All right, let's watch the pop-up dance. First, you put your right foot in, then you take your couple side steps, and then you wrestle it down. Nicely done by Miguel Tejada, who, by the way, has been doing the pop-up dance here in the Bay Area for a long time.
A's fans have seen him do that before. And I think that was exactly what he was doing at the end. It was almost like wrestling an alligator. He wrestled that one down. 2 down. Here is Suzuki. Ball 1.
You know, that was one thing that really defined Candlestick Park. Pop-ups. And it was an adventure. And we saw some of the craziest things. And when we moved over to this ballpark, I'm glad that came with it. I mean, it's not as difficult to play on the pop-up here at AT&T as it was at Candlestick, but it's still entertaining. It's not a comfortable play for anybody underneath it, I'll tell you that.
Popped up. Freddie Sanchez. Very cool and calm on that one. The inning is over. Sanchez coming up, then Huff and Posey.
As advertised, a pitching duel Ryan Vogelsong and Trevor Cahill have really locked horns here.
1 hit for the Giants, 4 for the Athletics. And here is Freddie Sanchez, who has knocked in the Giants' only run. He did it with some situational hitting. Andres Torres at first base in the first inning with nobody out. Sanchez hit a ground ball to second and knock him in. Here's ball 1. Aubrey Huff on deck. Buster Posey due up third. And there's Ryan Vogelsong, who's had to work. He's thrown 41 pitches in the last 2 innings. Talking to Dave Righetti in the dugout. In for a strike. 1-1 now to Freddie, who, after getting his RBI ground out in the first, was hit by a pitch in the third.
Well, with his inside-out approach, it's ideal to beat Sink.
That is foul. Kuzmanov made the dive, couldn't get it. The ball just went outside the bag. Although Flannery, the third base coach, had a few words with Jerry Meals.
It just has to go over the bag. It doesn't have to land. That's a very, very bad bounce right there at the end. It hit the cut of the infield grass. And Jerry Meals calling it correctly. Had it not hit the ridge of the grass line by the foul line, it probably would have been fair.
1-2. Ooh, the changeup puts him away. 5th strikeout for Cahill.
Time for our Lincoln Mercury Smart Move. It's not just luxury, it's smarter than that. Feel smarter at Lincoln.com. We go to a flashback. Omar Vizquel at third base. Greg Smith on the mound. And watch Smith's head drops, and that's when Vizquel goes. He steals it easily. And that was back in 2008. That was a smart move.
Was there ever a more easy steal of home in the history of baseball than that one?
No, but he was waiting for one thing. As soon as Greg Smith dropped his head, he was gone.
He had read that and thought he could exploit it, and he did. Aubrey Huff, who has flied out to center field twice to Coco Crisp, so he is 0 for 2. Ramon Ramirez up in the Giants bullpen. Well, Coco Crisp tried to steal home, and it ended the game. That play we showed earlier. Talk about a daring play. Out number 2. As Huff is gone, and Buster Posey will come up. The tag was made by A.J. Pierzynski of the White Sox, and he got him by, 2 inches, literally. But that kind of a play is almost extinct. Not quite, but almost. The Giants in 1951, the year the Bobby Thompson home run put them in the World Series. In Game 1 in the first inning of Game 1 of the World Series, Monty Irvin stole home. And I don't recall ever seeing that in a World Series game myself personally. I was born during that World Series in '51.
Well, maybe you saw it, you didn't even know, you know. It is an exciting play.
Well, we see those old films of Jackie Robinson stealing home in the World Series.
I think he was out.
Yogi Berra certainly thought he was out. Yankee catcher. And I told him on ESPN one year that we showed him in slow motion, that old film. And we thought actually that he was safe. And Yogi got right in my face and started screaming at me. He was like, I was like that umpire 50 years ago all over again.
He just hadn't quite got over it. Great Jackie Robinson. His number celebrated in every ballpark across America. Number retired, number 42.
3-1 to Posey. And 3-2.
That high strike.
Was that one above the bell?
Close to it.
3-2 to Posey, who has walked and doubled to right. Cahill has not yet retired him. Giants 1, Oakland 1, last of the 6th. The changeup, and that bat ends up in the crowd. We head to the 7th, 1-1.
The 52-year journey that led to the first World Series championship here in San Francisco. And this tribute will encircle all 4 plazas of AT Park and will feature granite markers depicting epic moments from throughout the years in San Francisco. The walk will also include 4 by 12-inch brick pavers, providing fans with the chance of a lifetime to forever etch their Giants loyalty in stone here at AT Park. To order your personalized brick, visit sfgiants.com/brick or by calling 1-855-SFG-FANS. Partial proceeds from the sale of the pavers will benefit the Giants Community Fund.
New pitcher for the Giants, that's Ramon Ramirez in relief of Vogelsong, and a fastball for a strike.
Ryan Vogelsong was outstanding.
He worked very hard the last couple of innings. 41 pitches in those 2 innings alone. 97 for the game, and so they bring in Ramirez to start the 7th. A fresh arm. Vogelsong, by the way, gave up 1 run, and that was unearned. A throwing error by Aubrey Huff helped Oakland get its only run in the 5th inning. The man at the plate right now, Mark Ellis, scored that run after he led off the 5th inning with a double to deep center. 2-1 the count. And there is a look at McCovey Cove, and there are some Giants fans on the high seas and the Cabernet Sauvignon Commodore. Now that, how come we're not on that?
Well, they're having fun. A good hard slider, and Ellis went out of the strike zone to help him. Yeah, the captains are out there.
It's a formal occasion out there, it appears, at least for some. And AT&T Park, when there's a Giants game, is almost always part of the cruise of the bay. 3-2 the count to Mark Ellis. Kevin Kuzminoff on deck. There's the Cabernet Sauvignon Commodore.
Great name for a boat.
He walked him.
Giants Baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota is the most fuel-efficient, full-line auto manufacturer, period.
And you see the big crowd. And Toyota here in NBC Bay Area and the Giants television network. As Kuzminoff stands in. So Mark Ellis, the Giants have not been able to get him out. He had a single in the 2nd. A double and a run scored in the 5th. Now there he is on base again. Kuzminoff has hit into a force play and walked. Ellis back to the bag at first. Ellis runs well and has 4 steals this year in 5 tries. Ramon Ramirez came into this game with a 1.06 ERA. He had only walked 3 all year in 17 innings, but he walks 1 here in a big spot.
Now, he didn't pitch at all on the road trip. Last time he pitched is when the Giants were here against Arizona.
Did he swing? No. So CB Buckner.
And right now he looks a little rusty with his command.
We saw that with Brian Wilson in LA after he went a week without appearing in a game. As the Oakland bullpen is going to spring into action. Grant Balfour, the right-hander, starts to throw. Kuzminoff at the plate, Pennington on deck, and then the pitcher spot is due up after Pennington. Oh, he got him chasing that breaking ball. Nasty. 1 ball, 1 strike. But now Posey goes out to talk to him nonetheless.
Yeah, he sees something in his motion, and I think it may be his front shoulder. It's not driving towards the target. As a catcher, you can see that front shoulder clear early, and if that's the case, you can come out there and you can get him back on track. Addison Bumgarner in post-game comments yesterday, following his brilliant performance in Los Angeles, really made mention of the fact that Posey, who was a pitcher, will come out there and he'll talk to you and he'll talk mechanics. So it's kind of like having a pitching coach right out there on the field with you during the game.
And Posey was often used as a closer when he was in college. 1-1 to Kuzminoff, and Ellis, he was leaning the wrong way. Got back though.
See the lean. Yep.
1 ball, 1 strike to count. That's hit deep down the left field line, but foul.
That'll liven up a section. A little bit of an Easter egg hunt going on there right now. Uh-oh, there we go. The right guy got it. He was not afraid to get down and dirty. Yeah, man.
One and 2 to Kuzminoff. Outfield straight away. 2 and 2.
All right.
Oh, yeah, there was the, what'd you call it? Easter egg hunt.
Oh, yeah. Coming up for air. Bingo. Got it.
Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Runner at first for Oakland in a 1-1 tie. That breaking ball is fouled out of play. I asked Dave Righetti, the Giants pitching coach, I said, how do you, if I'm watching on the center field camera, how can I distinguish between the slider and the splitter and then the other stuff that he throws? And he said, I don't know, they all look exactly the same to me when I see the video. And he says he just goes by the radar gun reading. So Ramirez, and his stuff is tight and not easy to pick up for hitters either. That's a check swing foul. So Ellis, who is running, will have to go back to first base.
The other guy that's hard is Tim Lincecum. All 3 of his specialty pitches are such that they're not easy to pick up. Slider, the split, the curveball. He's got them going. They all have straight downward bite, much like that of Ramirez.
Lincecum hard to hit and hard to catch for Buster Posey. So much movement. 2 and 2 the count. Ellis back at first. He runs. Strike 3. And a steal. And a great jump there. Ramirez did a great job of striking out Kuzminoff, but not much of a job in holding Ellis on at first base.
Clear his concentration was to the hitter. And Posey, I mean, he had to come way wide to catch the ball. And Ellis took full advantage of it. So now the A's get another runner in score position.
Ended up being a real nice catch by Freddie Sanchez, coming off the bag and behind the runner. Not sure if that ball might even hit the runner or not. Giants are going to get more action in their bullpen.
He seriously got handcuffed on that one.
So here is Pennington. The pitcher is due up next. The A's bullpen is working. But I can't imagine that they would pinch hit for Cahill here. You think he's just trying to plant that seed in the Giants' minds? Ellis was dancing away from second base, so Ramirez looks him back.
Well, if you're Ramon Ramirez, I mean, you have an open base, you have a pitcher on deck, and you have to assume that they are going to pinch hit, but still, with an open base, you are going to pitch to the corners here. You're not going to give in and just flat out challenge him with belt high fastball, saying here.
Runner at second, 1 out. 1-1 the score. The splitter is low.
And that's a good pitch, given the situation and the open base.
Cahill is the Oakland ace, 6-1, second in the American League in earned run average. He's only given them 6 innings. They're not trailing. So very possibly part of the gamesmanship between managers. As you saw the score posted there on the out-of-town scoreboard, the Colorado Rockies have gone ahead of the Brewers in the 13th inning, 5-4 now. Giants and A's tied at 1 here in the 7th. Pennington has struck out and been safe on an error. And a foul out of play off the third base side. Arizona leading the Twins, but that lead is shrinking. It is now 8-6 in the top of the 9th inning, as the Twins are rallying. They've scored 4 runs in the last 2 innings of that game and are still threatening to get more. 1-1 to Pennington. Ellis at second. Check swing and a foul. That might have gotten a piece of the plate umpire. Well, wait a minute. It was not a foul. And Ellis goes to third.
Well, now Buster Posey is going to say that did get a piece. And this is going to be an argument. Buster has to stay in the game.
So Bruce Bochy will pick up the argument, although Posey adds a couple of words. Now the second base umpire, Dale Scott, who is also the crew chief, is coming in. And maybe Scott saw something. Although Tom Payne is not asking for any help.
I just think he's down there to protect the young umpire.
Well, Buster Posey thought that the ball was fouled all the way. He did not chase after it as if it were a wild pitch.
Buster's hot. He's chewing that gum at about 90 miles an hour. Well, this changes everything. I mean, this makes it a pure strikeout situation. Let's see if it's got a piece. It definitely got a piece.
Look at that.
Got a piece of the bat, got a piece of the umpire.
So the umpire just thought Posey just out and out missed that ball, I guess.
It's crazy.
Man, and the crowd is unhappy, and I think up in the suites where they had the TV monitors, people saw that replay. The infield has come in now. Horrible call by Tom Payne, the plate umpire. Pop-up foul and out of play. And it's 2-2 now.
Well, Ramirez has three ways he can get you. He can spot that fastball, go with the slider or the split. But it changes everything.
In Milwaukee, Yuniesky Betancourt has homered in the last of the 13th against Colorado closer Houston Street, and that game is tied again.
Well, what you hope for is a 24-inning game.
I mean, the Rockies are not hoping for one. The Giants wouldn't mind, though, if the Rockies played 24. Runner at third, one out.
Great block.
Tom Payne correctly saying that was not a foul. 3-2.
He thought about it, though. I mean, when you see a ball bounce this far in front of home plate as a catcher, you're just thinking survival. And Buster keeps it in front of him with a runner at third.
Three and two the count with one out. Cahill, the pitcher, on deck. Giants and A's tied at 1 here in the 7th. Got a piece of it to stay alive. Well, it's been a long time for Ramirez since he last pitched in a game, but he's getting a lot of work in this game. This next pitch will be his 20th of the inning. Still only one out.
Well, when you go a week without pitching in a game, and your arm has a tendency to start thickening up. At least that's how it feels.
3-2.
And your command is affected by it.
Ellis away from third. And he went up out of the strike zone, fouling one back into the second deck. Still 3-2.
He does not have to throw a strike here. I mean, he can go down and throw a back foot slider here, and you might get Pennington to swing over the top of it. If you walk him here, it's not the end of the world.
Pennington has fouled 5 of the 7 pitches that he's seen from Ramirez. This will be number 8. And that was not, I don't think, the breaking ball he was hoping to throw.
Well, they're all in the strike zone. I mean, and Pennington is getting short here and quick in 2-strike scenario. Just the way you're taught, take swing out, try and go back up the middle. But he is definitely in the protect mode, which is where you can take advantage of it. Oftentimes in the protect mode, guys, they'll go out of the strike zone and chase.
Big spot in this game. 7th inning, 1-1. Runner at third, one out. 3-2. The fastball pulled foul over to Ty Waller, the first base coach. And Ellis was off and running at the crack of the bat there. They'll have to go back to third. So Ramon Ramirez, who walked the first batter he faced, Mark Ellis. Ellis stole second, and then he was awarded third, even though a foul ball had been hit. I guess I mean, what do they call that? It had to be a pass ball to Buster Posey
or a wild pitch.
3-2. Popped up. Posey and Huff. Huff wants it. Got him. 2 down. Quite a battle. And now Cahill is going to go back to the dugout.
I cannot believe that they're taking him out of the game. I mean, the Giants got to be pretty pumped up about that. Now they're going to call this a pass ball, and this is going to get contested. There's a foul ball that hit off the umpire's leg, and I mean, you can't call it a wild pitch, but you sure can't call it a pass ball. There should be an umpire's error on that one.
And what we heard there, the ball hitting the bat, the umpire was not able to hear. Hideki Matsui, ordinarily the Oakland designated hitter, is going to come up as a pinch hitter. Now that he's introduced into the game, Bruce Bochy will bring in his left-hander, Jeremy Affeldt, with a runner at third and 2 down. Trevor Cahill, after 6 innings, is out of the game. We'll be back. Back in 1955, it was Game 1 of the World Series, the Dodgers and the Yankees. Yogi Berra behind the plate, and Jackie Robinson at Yankee Stadium stole home. And when the umpire said he was safe, Yogi Berra was incensed. Now, when you see where Yogi's glove was, it was not out in front of the plate. And if we'd frozen that, I think, a little bit and looked at it and dissected it,
which you guys did.
And it's not a big controversy here in San Francisco, but Yogi will still get into it with you if you say, you know, I saw that, and I believe he was safe.
The numbers for Jeremy Affeldt.
I heard Yogi say some things that I was shocked.
Always entertaining. Never let you down.
Here's Connor Jackson, and the curveball is low and inside for ball 1. Now, Trevor Cahill, the Oakland ace, has pitched 6 one-hit innings, 83 pitches thrown, and he's gone. Matsui, the Oakland designated hitter in the American League games, their best left-handed pinch hitter on the bench, is also gone. So to get this matchup, Bob Guerin takes out his ace right-hander after 6 and takes out his veteran slugger who never even saw a pitch in this game. To get this matchup, Connor Jackson versus Jeremy Affeldt, with Coco Crisp, a switch hitter, on deck. Toward the middle. Freddie Sanchez. He got him! Wow. What a play! The side is retired. Wow!
what a play. Seventh, time now for the save of the game, brought to you by ING Direct. Save your money, member FDIC. And Connor Jackson puts a charge right up the middle, and Freddie Sanchez full prone, parallel to the ground, high backhander, and from his knees he shoots down Connor Jackson, and this preserves the score 1-1. And that, folks, is a big league play. One more look at the defensive brilliance of Freddie Sanchez. Watches it all the way into his glove, and then from his knees, a perfect strike to Aubrey Huff. And you see the reaction from Trevor Cahill. And look at Jeremy Affeldt. Talk about firing up a guy. And the Giants dugout erupted. And here's the welcoming committee high-fiving Freddie Sanchez as he comes back in.
So the Athletics truly pulled out all the stops to get that go-ahead run home. I suppose if you're Bob Guerin, you're playing in a National League park, so it's not your normal kind of a game. You're having a terrible time scoring runs anyway, so he decided, hey, we may not get a better chance in this, but he burned his ace pitcher after only 6 innings, who had a one-hitter going, and he used up 2 of his pinch hitters in the 7th inning and got nothing out of it.
Yeah, it was a gamble. And Freddie Sanchez made it all seem like a bad decision.
The Oakland bullpen is well fortified right now. They brought up 3 relief pitchers from the minor leagues today. Grant Balfour, though, has been with them all year. Veteran right-hander. He's from Australia, formerly with the Tampa Bay Rays. He throws very hard, and he's having an excellent year for the Athletics. Nate Scherholtz leads off, takes a strike. Now the Giants defense. There was an error tonight by Aubrey Huff that helped Oakland get its only run of the game, but Freddie Sanchez just saved the tie. One night after this batter, Nate Scherholtz saved the whole game in the bottom of the 9th inning with his diving catch at Dodger Stadium to end the game.
That's how you get your momentum back in your dugout. Defensively, you put a play like that, you preserve that score 1-1, everybody's fired up.
2-1. Balfour with a 2-1 count. And this is last night. Bases loaded. The Giants ahead by 2 runs in the 9th inning.
Jamie Carroll puts a great at bat, a 2-strike, 2-out seed, and they had moved the outfield in prior. And even after they moved the outfield, Nate Scherholtz came in another couple steps, and he needed every bit of it to make the play.
A fastball at 94 miles an hour from Balfour. Back to the screen, 2-2.
Balfour will give you a couple different looks. I mean, as you mentioned, he throws very hard. A fastball that'll go low to mid-90s. He's got an excellent curveball slider combination. And if he gets ahead of the lefties, he likes to pounce that curveball, try and bounce it on the plate. It's a straight down, late breaking snapper. A good strikeout pitch.
Oh. Well, Nate may have outthought himself on that one. One away. Both starting pitchers are out of the game now, Mike.
And these are the numbers in comparison. Both went 6, 4 hits allowed by Vogelsong, just 1 by Cahill. 5 strikeouts against a couple of walks by Vogelsong, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks for Cahill, just 83 pitches, and Vogelsong right around 97. Both guys really pitched well.
Well, called too high for ball 1. Cody Ross has popped up to second and grounded out to second. 1-1, last of the 7th. I think his willingness to take out Cahill in the game, also talking about Bob Garen, has something to do with this great sense of confidence he has in his bullpen. Balfour has had an excellent year, and they brought up some people who have strong arms, including Devine. Adrian Devine brought up today, who, 2-3 years ago, was about as fearsome a pitcher as any hitter ever had the bad fortune to face. But he had the Tommy John elbow reconstructive surgery, missed 2 years.
Well, 2 years after surgery, Tommy John surgery, you should be good to go. Of course, everybody's different.
2-1 the count. A little bit low. Good eye there by Cody Ross. 3-1.
You're talking about Bob Garen having confidence in his pitching staff. When you come into a game and your team, as a team, your staff ERA is 2.86, and they're the only staff in Major League Baseball that is under 3. I mean, you have to have confidence in all of them.
Down the left field line. Willingham cuts it off. Ross with the big turn, and he'll have to go back.
Boy, nice play by Willingham. I mean, he cut that ball off, and he denied an extra 90. And that kept Cody Ross from getting in scoring position. And he was busted hard out of the box thinking it was going to get by him, that he was going to have a double. And you watch Willingham get over there to the backhand. That ball was behind him as he backhands. It sets up very quickly and gets it back to the infield. And that denies Cody Ross 90 feet. And there's the big turn. It's a big play because now Bruce Bochy might decide he wants to give up an out to try to get Cody Ross in scoring position. I beg your pardon, it's 1 out. I was thinking that was a lead out there, partner.
Well, it is nonetheless a very big play by Willingham, just keeping him out of scoring position. And there's ball 1 to Fontenot. And Willingham is not a guy known for his defense. He's in there for his bat, and I think there was a long time when he played in the National League where people thought, he'd be better suited to be a designated hitter in the American League. Well, he's in the American League now, but they're not using him as a DH. And he just made a very nice play. I think the players on both sides are really into this game. They all kind of downplay the notion that the Giants and the A's means anything. Hey, we see each other spring training, so on and so forth. Well, they're playing like this is a big game.
Well, it is, and they know what it means to their fan base. It means a lot. And they're playing tonight like they know it means a lot.
Tejada on deck. 2-1.
One thing about Balfour, when you study video against Balfour, you know how often he uses that outside corner. And he hasn't come to the inside part of the plate at all with the fastball. So if you're up there in the plate, until you get to 2 strikes, you're thinking fastball, you're thinking away.
Fontenot seeing Grant Balfour for the first time in a big league game. One to 1, last of the 7th, 1 out. First baseman Barton on the bag with Ross. There's Willingham right near Javier Lopez, who's now warming up in the Giants bullpen. 2 down, Ross back to first. And Tejada will come up, and Pat Burrell comes out of the dugout right behind him to go out on deck. There's Burrell at the pitcher spot, due up after Tejada. The Oakland bullpen is quiet. Trevor Cahill gave up 1 earned run, although an error by the catcher Suzuki was a big part of the run on the steal of second by Torres back in the first inning. He went to third on the wild throw. and scored on a ground out by Sanchez, but then it was a fly ball hit by Aubrey Huff. The official score said, well, he would have gone to third on the ground out and would have scored on that fly ball, and that's the way official scores have to reconstruct an inning to determine earned or unearned runs. The 1 run allowed by Vogelsong was an unearned run. Miguel Tejada struck out in the second, grounded to second in the 5th. And Ross is back to the bag. Looked like he threw a knuckleball or something over there to first base that time.
He kind of goosed it, didn't he?
Cody Ross with a couple of steals for the Giants, and they both come recently, including the night before last in L.A. in the 8th inning of the game. Hope the Giants get a run. This is a spot where a steal could be a big play. That one is going to go back into the second deck. A ball and a strike to Tejada. The A's are hugging the foul lines. The third baseman Kuzmanov is right on the line behind the bag. There you see him over on the left side, and the first baseman, I mean, he's real close to that foul line, which opens that hole, and we've seen Tejada exploit that a couple of times here lately in the late innings. First baseman Barton is on the bag with Ross at first. The outfield is backed up very deep. The no doubles defense, the players call it.
Well, the A's play the deepest no doubles defense in the game, and this is like their medium doubles defense.
Rockies have scored again in Milwaukee. They have a wild game going on at Miller Park. 6-5 Colorado, back ahead in the 14th inning. Mark Ellis throws out Tejada. Still 1-1. We go to the 8th. Coco Crisp, top of the order, coming up.
Excellent pitching tonight, not much offense. We are tied in the 8th inning. In fact, for the Giants, only 1 base hit in this game, courtesy of Buster Posey. And a lot of talk this season about Posey and his offensive struggles. But keep in mind, despite his so-called slump offensively, Posey is still 3rd in the National League among catchers in terms of batting average and 2nd in the National League in terms of RBIs ranking among all catchers. So problem with Posey and what he's done to all of us, he's set the bar so high that anything less than a 300 batting average seems like a disappointment, gentlemen.
Yeah, plus you got a pass ball tonight. Here's the one hopper off the glove of Tejada, and Coco Crisp is going to keep on going. Nope. After the big turn, almost halfway to second, he beat a hasty retreat as the Giants hustled after that one.
That's the beauty of being a bunt threat. You bring that third baseman in, and if you get a high bounce, I mean, you get lucky. There's not a whole lot that Tejada could do. Even if he makes the play on that thing, I don't think he can get his feet under him to get a throw over to get in time to get Coco Crisp.
No, Coco has tremendous speed. As soon as that ball took that gigantic hop, and Tejada had to start backing up for it, I think that was a base hit. Barton shows bunt, takes a ball outside. You know, I wonder if Coco missed first base going around.
I thought it strange that he wasn't going to take off for second, to be honest with you. I thought once it got past Tejada in no man's land out there in short left field, it was going to be an easy take a second.
Well, that last replay we just showed from that one angle, the low angle, it was not evident that he touched first base. 2-0. So Barton trying to bunt, offering to make it out, but Affeldt is not able to find the strike zone. Did he touch it?
Yeah.
There he goes.
He almost broke his ankle doing it, but he got a chunk. And he is a base stealer.
Crisp has 13 steals this year. Sergio Romo up in the Giants bullpen meanwhile. Here's Crisp, and he's right at the top of the league with Boston's Jacoby Ellsbury and the Rangers' Elvis Andrus. Tejada very shallow at third. Huff holding on the bag at first against Crisp. 2-0 the count. He's not bunting. Back out of play.
That's a great way to get a fastball for a hitter. Have him show bunt a couple times to get to a count where you think you're going to get a fastball and let him have at it. And that's exactly what Barton got, because you're always taught as a pitcher to throw that fastball, a high fastball in a bunt situation, because it's the hardest one to bunt. Guys, dodged the bullet right there in that 2-0 count.
And what do you think? They're trying to see if Barton would give away his intent there.
That thrower was called to first base for that very reason. I think he's done bunting.
Well, he's one of their best hitters, Derek Barton, although he came into this game hitting only .217. He's 1 for 2 with a walk in the game. There goes the runner, and he bunts it. Foul.
Well, he get another break. You know, if he takes that pitch, Coco Crisp steals the base without a throw.
And Crisp with sort of a wry smile on his face.
The unload time from Jeremy Affeldt is 1.55, very slow. So the Giants catch another break, and you see the jump from Coco Crisp. And they'd have stole the base. They'd have had second base without giving up an out.
Well, the bunt for an American League team is really not a big part of the arsenal. Barton has not had a sacrifice bunt this year. The entire A's team has only 7 sacrifices. The curveball down and away. 3-2. So, you know, the pitch he bunted foul, not only I think would have Crisp stolen second, it would have been ball 3. So it's 3-2. What do you think? Crisp is running now?
I would be surprised if he's not running.
He's not running. Strike 3 called to Barton. One away.
Giants baseball is brought to you by Ford, the right choice for California. See your California Ford dealer or visit your CaliforniaFord.com today. Well, I can't figure out this inning. I haven't guessed right yet.
Well, it was odd. It's 3-2 count. Crisp, who's a base stealer, was planted at first base, and Barton never took the bat off his shoulder for strike 3. The hitter is De Jesus with 1 out, and Crisp still at first. It seems like it's incumbent upon Crisp now, after the failure to move him up, to go ahead and steal the bag.
You would think. And the A's are timing Jeremy Affeldt down in their dugout. They know he is not getting rid of the ball quickly, and that is an advantage for Coco Crisp.
So Michael Wirtz, the right-hander, up in the Oakland bullpen. Curveball. Ooh.
Jeremy Affeldt walking down off the mound thinking, what do I have to do to get a strike?
And now Tumpane, the plate umpire, looking over the Giants dugout as Bruce Bochy, Ron Wotus and company appear to be giving him an earful, trying to help him with his umpiring.
Yeah, Bochy's been trying to help him all night long.
And back to the bag at first is Crisp.
One thing about John Tumpane is that he doesn't have rabbit ears. He's taking it.
Crisp led off the inning with a single, just a big chop to third. He's not running. There is Sherholtz out at the entrance to Death Valley. Plenty of room out there. Crisp back to first. Meanwhile, we told you that the Rockies had gone ahead in the 14th inning, 6-5, but in the last of the 14th inning, Prince Fielder, the Milwaukee slugger, with a home run with a couple of men on, one man on base, and the Brewers on a walk-off homer have won that game 7-6. The Rockies have been beaten. Bruce Bochy going to make a pitching change with Willingham coming up. It's 1-1. We'll be right back. And the under 500 calorie charbroiled turkey burgers. New at Carl's Jr. Giants won, A's won, Vogelsong, Cahill, both excellent, both out of the game now, although for differing reasons. Although they were removed as a managerial decision, but different thought processes going on there. And here now is Sergio Romo, the third man to come in out of the Giants bullpen. He's got the cleanup hitter Willingham at the plate and a base stealer at first in a tie game. 8th inning. How would you rate the move of Sergio Romo, the ability to keep a base stealer close as he throws a fastball high for ball one?
He's good. He's going to give Buster Posey a pretty good chance. Remember, we talk about unload time average 1.25, and he's consistently under that. So Posey will get a good chance. And I'm just amazed we haven't seen Coco Crisp try and steal.
Two and 0.
There you see the numbers for Romo. They've been fantastic. Just 7 base runners in 10 and a third innings. The right-hander's just hitting a $133 off him.
Now he's got a fastball count here. 2-0 to Willingham. Willingham 0 for 2 lifetime against him. That's a foul ball. He did not give him that fastball on a 2-0 count. It's now 2-1. Willingham, even with the glove on, the right hand is blowing on his right hand. 42,224 sellout crowd here at AT&T Park. The 16th consecutive sellout. Every game the Giants have played so far here at home has been sold out. 1-1, 8th inning. And Crisp Back to the bag. Crisp had second base stolen at one point with Barton up there, and Barton ended up bunting at a pitch and fouling it. And Crisp has been anchored ever since. Barton ended up striking out. De Jesus flied out. 2-1 the count. There he goes. And it's fouled out of play. Crisp goes into second. He got deked, apparently, by Freddie Sanchez. He went into second with a head first slide.
Again, he feels he would have had that base stolen. You can see frustration. Yeah, it is agonizing for a base stealer when you bust out, go into a slide, look up to think, hey, did I get there? And all of a sudden you figure out that the ball was fouled off.
Two and two to Willingham, who has singled, struck out, and popped out. He's 1 for 3. Powerful cleanup hitter for the Athletics. Crisp is not running. Sliders struck him out. The side is retired. The pitcher spot and then the top of the order coming up.
Coverage of the team, the players, the opponents to watch, even a peek into the iconic ballpark. The Cove on NBCBayArea.com. NBC Bay Area is the proud over-the-air broadcast home of your San Francisco Giants. All tied up here as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It has been a great pitching duel with a lot of drama, as we absolutely had anticipated. These two teams have not let us down, John.
Indeed. But it became a bullpen game rather early. The Oakland bullpen is very strong. Trevor Cahill, the starting pitcher, the second best ERA in the American League, and he was excellent. Only allowed 1 hit in his 6 innings.
A great mixture of sinkers, changeups, curveballs, pounded the low part of the strike zone. Matched inning by inning by Ryan Vogelsong, who was as effective.
Pat Burrell, the pinch hitter, against the new Oakland pitcher, Michael Wirtz, a former Cub. 0-1. And so Burrell has seen Wirtz before, 3 for 10 with a couple of doubles against him, lifetime.
Well, if you're hitting off Wirtz, you look slider.
And another slider, and he was out in front of it. 0-2 the count.
And he's got a good slider. I mean, it's a nasty hard biter. And we've seen him have outings where he's throwing 15, 16 pitches, all sliders.
So Wirtz has been an excellent find for the Athletics. A little bit high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. About 4 feet high.
Ryan Wilson starting to get greased up. You saw Darren Ford in the Giants dugout. If Burrow gets on base, you'll see Darren Ford.
Well, he went up after that high one. Fouled it back. That was kind of a hanger way up above the strike zone. Just too fat, I guess, for Pat Burrell to lay off. Andres Torres, the leadoff man, is on deck. 1-1. The Giants have only 2 hits in the game. Kuzmanov hugging the third base line. 2-2. Wirtz with a .84 ERA so far this year, 10 2/3 innings. He's only allowed 3 hits. Center field, crisp, under it on the warning track. 1 away.
Wow. And we saw carry to that part of the field early in the game from Mark Ellis. And we thought maybe, just maybe, you might see it again here from Pat Burrell. A hanging slider out there, belt high, middle away, right to his wheelhouse. But it stays in the yard. Perhaps a bit too much height.
One away. And here is Torres. Strike one. Again, a slider that did not have much bite to it. Torres has walked and scored the Giants' only run after a steal. Also has been thrown out on a drag by the tag. Well, it wasn't thrown out. He was tagged out, although he'll insist that he wasn't tagged at all. And then he struck out looking in the 5th inning. Officially 0 for 2, but he has been the Giants' offense tonight. 1-1 the count. A's are covering both foul lines at third and first bases to try and take away the extra base hit possibility. One run, 5 hits for Oakland and 1 error. 1 run, 2 hits and 1 error for the Giants. Right center field. Base hit. Over in that area was De Jesus to begin with.
And they really had him playing deep in right field to protect that triples alley. What a nice at bat. And you can see the depth of De Jesus prior to the pitch. And now it sets up a steal situation for Torres.
Torres, a threat to steal. He has stolen 1 tonight already. That was a big play. The A's, though, have been tough against the steal this year. They've now allowed 20 steals, and they've thrown out 19 attempting to steal, which is excellent. And again, Torres back to the bag.
Yeah, he's stretching that lead. He's trying to get every inch that he can get off Wirtz.
Freddie Sanchez has had 12 career at-bats against Wirtz and is 3 for 12 against him. Wirtz, a former Cub. Sanchez, a former Pirate. They both played in the National League Central Division for many years. Barton on the bag at first with Torres. The middle infielders double play depth. Big hole open on either side of the infield as the ball is fouled. 0-1.
Excellent unload time for Wirtz. 1.14 seconds. And that will definitely give Suzuki a chance to throw out Andres Torres.
Now, you think Roberto Kelly goes over and does he give that information to Torres?
He does.
Which is basically saying it might be a little bit too risky to try it. And he's back to the bag. So Wirtz paying a lot of attention to Andres Torres, who is the possible go-ahead run.
I mean, a lot of things have to happen in order to get a base runner who has good speed like Torres. I mean, you have to have good unload time from the pitcher, a good unload time from your catcher, and a good accurate throw.
There he goes. It hits the foot of Wirtz. He recovers very coolly and calmly and throws out Freddie Sanchez. Torres to second. But he had a good jump, and Wirtz gave a little bit more of a high leg kick on that delivery.
Now the A's catch a break here as that ball hit and died once it hit off of the leg of or foot of Wirtz. But the Giants do get a runner in score position.
So now Aubrey Huff, who was the Giants' RBI leader last year, and they're not even going to fool around with him. They're going to walk him and go after Buster Posey.
Wow.
Who's been a hot hitter lately, as opposed to Aubrey Huff, who's just never been able to really get going so far this year.
Well, Huff has been struggling, and this is another odd play given how hot Posey has been. Guerin has made some moves tonight that have really raised eyebrows, at least up in the booth here.
Well, Wirtz, the other thing about Wirtz is you might say, well, hey, left-handed hitters own him. Left-handed hitters before tonight were hitting 133 against Wirtz. Well, they're going to go after Buster Posey. We'll see. He has walked, doubled, and struck out in this game. He was the only Giant to get a hit against Trevor Cahill, and he shot a double right down the right field line back in the fourth inning. 2 men on, 2 men out in the 8th inning. Buster Posey. He's hitting .280, and he's been hitting a lot higher than that for the last week or so. Trying to keep Torres from getting too big of a jump from second base. Ellis came in behind him from second. No throw, as you saw. But Andres Torres is the man the Giants want at second base in this spot. He's their fastest runner. One of the fastest in the game. The slider misses. 1 ball and no strikes. Wirtz and Posey have only faced each other 1 time in a big league game, although they may have faced in spring training. Posey hit a line drive out against Wirtz last year. The foul ball. Again, the slider. The count 1 ball and 1 strike. Posey tied with Huff for the club lead in RBIs with 20. And Posey has hit .289 for the year with runners in scoring position. Third baseman Kuzminov hugs the line. The check swing on that slider. 2-1.
Well, Wirtz has an open base.
And you see the runners, Torres and Huff. And you see how Oakland plays it defensively. The man on deck, just in case, is Nate Sherholtz, the left-handed hitter. 2-1. There's Kuzminov. And he decided to throw to second, which was odd, but did get Aubrey Huff. So we're going to the 9th inning. It's still tied.
game, and of all the colorful things we've learned about Brian Wilson in the last few years, here's something we didn't know. He was on 2 teams in high school, his baseball team and his chess team. Yes, no kidding. Brian Wilson very serious about the mental approach to the game, says it helped him back in high school and it helped him in the major leagues. He loves to think through his opponents. Guys, back up to you.
And the managing chess game, often referred to as such, is going on big time tonight as well. Wilson throws a called strike to Kurt Suzuki. Now Wilson is working for the 3rd straight day after he did not work for a week, and it really looked like his sharpness was not there when he finally got to work again Wednesday at Dodger Stadium and got a blown save, although he then got the win. Fastball is outside. He had 3 wins in games like this on the Giants' last homestand, where he came into a tie game in the 9th inning, shut the side down, and then the Giants won it in the last of the 9th. He is the Giants' top winning pitcher. He's won 4. Strike 2. He got the call on the outside.
Pounding that outside corner. I mean, the previous pitch he just missed with a 2-seam pass while trying to backdoor. Here a 4-seamer at 94. And already it looks to me like he's got better command of his release point than we've seen the last 2 days.
Yeah, he was shaky in both of those games. Sanchez out. Sherholtz in, but it is Sanchez. 1 away, and Suzuki is 0 for 4. 2 strikeouts and 2 pop-outs to that man. Sanchez saved a run back in the 7th on this ground ball by Connor Jackson with a runner at 3rd.
Definitely the play of the game, play of the week, play of the month. When you consider what was at stake in a 1-1 ball game, it preserved the tie.
Mark Ellis has been on base 3 times. Now, where was that pitch?
It's been inconsistent tonight for both teams, and there are nights when you're going to have that. I mean, it's remarkable that the score is 1-1, considering the number of times that strikes have been called balls, which always favors the hitter.
There is Freddie Sanchez. He gets in front of it. Out number 2, the first time that Ellis has been kept off the bases. It was Ellis who was at 3rd on that great play by Freddie in the 7th inning. Not only a great grab, as we just saw by Freddie back in the 7th inning, it would have meant nothing at all if he wasn't able to then make that hurried throw and throw out Connor Jackson. The run would have scored if he could not have thrown out Jackson. What a play, and I don't think you'll ever see a better play than that.
Yeah, given the circumstance, I agree. The throw is as spectacular as the catch.
Kuzmanov, strike. Fastball right in there.
Oh, he wasn't looking for that. With Brian Wilson, I think as a right-handed hitter, you're aware of the cut fastball. I mean, that's what's in the back of your mind when you get in that batter's box.
Going to the inside, but it didn't get there. Missing low toward the outer half of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Giants don't prefer the extreme no doubles defense in the infield, where an infielder gets over right on the foul line. Bruce Bochy feels like you give away too many singles if you do that, especially with a hard thrower on the mound. Hanging slider. Sherholtz. He's got it! Nate Sherholtz. I think he's wearing a Gold Glove these days.
Boy, he really has been. And he takes away extra bags from Kuzmanov.
Sherholtz coming up. last of the 9th inning. And we've seen some spectacular defense, including this play in the top of this inning by Nate Sherholtz.
Boy, Kevin Kuzminoff putting a charge into one to right field, and Nate Sherholtz using a great first step and a direct route. No loop in that route whatsoever. He didn't have time to, and he winds up making a great play. Look how relaxed his upper body is. You watch him play the outfield, and you have to be impressed with how relaxed he is when he gets his hands to the ball. Soft-handed outfielder.
So now Brad Ziegler in to pitch for Oakland as part of a double switch. Sherholtz the hitter, fouling one to the screen. Ziegler the pitcher, and a new third baseman. Kuzminoff is out of the game now. Andy LaRoche now at third. He'll be slotted in the 9th position in the order and would be due up second if there's a 10th inning. And the Submariner Ziegler misses outside. There's LaRoche, the younger brother of Adam LaRoche. Well, you got to be very patient with Ziegler as he changes speeds, and I think a high pitch for him is one that is in at the knees.
Yeah, you're going to get big time sinks. He'll throw more change-ups to lefties than he will to righties. Righties will throw more curveballs.
He's got a .66 ERA. Now he spins a little frisbee off the outside. 2-2. Cody Ross on deck. Mike Fontenot due up third. This Oakland bullpen, all three of the guys we've seen tonight have been outstanding this year. Balfour, Wirtz, now Ziegler. Behind second, and Pennington throws out Sherholtz. Nate is 0 for 4.
Boy, Ziegler just got a piece of that ball, and that's what killed it. It allowed Pennington time to get to the ball and took away a base hit from Nate Sherholtz. I think it was 1-6-3.
So here's Cody Ross. Cody has one hit, hit a single down the left field line back in the 7th inning, where Willingham had a great play, keeping him from getting a double. At the knees for a strike. Colorado lost its game despite having a lead in the late innings and in extra innings 2 or 3 times. Slider at the knees again. 0-2. Finally, Prince Fielder, with Colorado ahead 6-5 in the 14th inning, hit a 2-run homer against Felipe Paulino, and the Brewers beat Colorado 7-6.
Paulino's having a rough month.
See, if you're a Rocky fan, you're saying, wait a minute, it's the late innings, it's extra innings, and Paulino's in again. But Houston Street blew a save earlier as that slider spins off the outside. In the 13th inning, Houston Street gave up a home run to Yuniesky Betancourt that tied the game. Two and 2. Oh, he chased one at the ankles. 2 down. So thoughts of being a hero work right into the hands of Brad Ziegler.
Well, he wants you to try and think long ball. Plus, I mean, he's funky anyway. You're seeing different release points, high 3/4 all night. Now all of a sudden you see submarine.
Ball 1 to Fontenot. Fontenot has never had an at-bat in a big league game against Ziegler, and again may well have faced him at some point in spring training. 1-1, last of the 9th. That's a strike. Fontenot is hitless. Most of the Giants are hitless tonight. They have only 3 hits in the game. And it changed up against the left-handed hitter. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Padres lost to the Mariners 4-1 down at Petco Park. Matt Latos lost another one. He's 1-6. Got his first win in his previous start, but not tonight. Fastball below the knees.
Good pitch. That's how you take advantage of a 1-2 count.
Aubrey Huff in the foreground, Sherholtz in the background. Fontenot, who has the power to reach that wall in right, just got a piece of that one. And that one got the plate umpire thumb pain, and Suzuki signals to the Giants and says, hey, he might need some assistance. And Mark Rusbeck, Giants assistant trainer, comes out. That one got under the face mask.
You know, I always say it's like getting punched. When you get hit in the mask, when you go underneath the mask, it really rocks you. Comes straight up, bang, it got right in the throat.
Oh, boy.
And that got completely away from that little protective piece he has down at the bottom of his mask. But the problem, when you're getting punched, you at least, you know, if somebody's coming at you straight on, you at least have a chance to brace yourself. When you're catching or when you're umpiring, you relax, you're concentrating on the ball. That's the last thing you're expecting to happen, is you're going to get whacked with the ball, and it hurts more.
Well, thankfully, he seems to be okay. We will continue. 2-2 the count. A little backdoor frisbee. 3-2. Well, Fontenot he's bugging Ziegler. Ziegler, wait a minute, you're supposed to swing at those pitches.
Yeah, he's not cooperating. Well, that's a good thing. What you want to try and do with Ziegler is get him to elevate.
The Giants have their own left-handed version of Ziegler, and he's warming up in the Giants bullpen right now. Javier Lopez. Got a piece of that one, and nobody got injured. 3-2. Dodgers won their game tonight. The Padres were beaten. Arizona just did hold on to beat the Minnesota Twins 8-7. Twins got 2 in the 8th and 3 in the 9th. A wild one down in the desert. 3-2 the count. And he walked him.
There's a bat.
So Fontenot gets aboard, and now Miguel Tejada.
And now you're talking about the deepest doubles defense in the game. The A's really back their outfielders up. That is deep. Any deeper, you're standing on a warning track.
And the third baseman is hugging the foul line. Andy LaRoche, first baseman, on the bag with Fontenot. Ziegler, not much of a pickoff throw there. Fontenot has 2 steals in 2 attempts for the Giants this year. And this is a spot where a steal could be huge. Ooh, that looked pretty good. Called the ball. It had some action running to the inside, and they didn't get the call. 1 ball and no strikes. Tejada has not hit the ball out of the infield tonight. He has struck out and twice grounded out to Mark Ellis, the second baseman. 1-1, 9th inning, 2 down. A ball and a strike. And a fan.
I think that guy had a hockey jersey on a little bit earlier.
Maybe that's the whole point of all this cool weather we're having into the latter days of man. Hockey, it's hockey season.
It's complimenting the hockey season. I get it. Well, that's epidemic across the United States. I've never seen a May this cold. Yep, that's baseball.
Fontenot dives safely back to the bag. A little better pickoff throw that time from Ziegler. The Oakland infield is all spread out. The third baseman deep and right along the line. The first baseman on the bag. There you see it. Second baseman Ellis pulled over toward the middle.
Ziegler has not given up a home run yet this year. So I gotta believe he's due.
There is Emmanuel Burris out on deck with the pitcher spot. Due up next. Burris is the only left-handed hitter on the Giants bench. He's a switch hitter. 2-1 the count. Now 2-2.
They're pounding that inside corner against Tejada. And he has covered that zone consistently here this last couple weeks.
Javier Lopez ready to go if there's a 10th inning. 2-2. There goes Fontenot. Struck him out swinging. So we're going to keep on playing on to the 10th inning.
Giants Baseball is brought to you by the Volkswagen Going Gone event. Great deals are here, but not for long. Visit VWDealer.com. And this was the hit of the game. And it was number 1,000 for Mark Ellis, although a bit tainted by the brilliance of Nate Sherholtz, who continues to throw out runners at an alarming pace.
Beware if you're a runner facing the Giants with Nate out there in right field.
A Volkswagen hit of the game.
Javier Lopez, number 49, takes the mound now for the Giants with Cliff Pennington, Andy LaRoche, and Coco Crisp due up. The Giants with a double switch made here. Looks like Fontenot has been taken out of the game, and Emmanuel Burris takes over at short. And Pennington tried to bunt at it and missed. Strike one. So Burris in at short, and he will be listed in the 9th spot in the order and be due to lead off in the Giants half of the 10th inning. Pennington at the plate, 0 for 3. Just off the corner. Pennington, a switch hitter, batting right-handed. It's interesting, Pennington for the year is hitting only .230, but as a right-handed hitter, .324 is his batting average. Changed up, and Pennington lunged across the plate after it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 6th pitcher of the game. Brian Wilson worked the 9th inning as the Oakland closer Brian Fuentes is now warming up. I'm on the right field line. Brian Wilson pitched a perfect 9th inning. Needed only 9 pitches to do it. 2-2. Pennington saw Lopez in a game last year and got a ground ball base hit against him.
Giants are kind of jamming in center and right. Normal depth in left.
Back out of play. 2-2 the count. The Giants scored in the very first inning. The first batter of the night for the Giants, Andres Torres, walked, stole second. Suzuki's throw was a wild one into center field. Torres took third, and then moments later, Freddie Sanchez hit a ground ball to second and knock him in. That one got away from him. Full count now. Oakland scored its only run, an unearned run in the fifth inning. Mark Ellis doubled deep to center. Kuzminoff walked. And then Pennington hit a ground ball to first. And Aubrey Huff's throw to second was a little bit high and wide, pulling Fontenot off the bag. He just got a piece of that one. And moments later, with the bases loaded and nobody out, Trevor Cahill grounded into a double play. So the only runs of the game have scored for the Giants on a ground ball to second after a throwing error, and for the A's on a ground ball double play with a throwing error involved there as well. 1-1, 10th inning. Right to Tejada. So some bad luck there for Pennington.
Now, if you're going to have a good year, you need a few line drives to find people, especially in leadoff situations. But Miguel Tejada, any move. He's always animated. Looked like that may have hurt his hand a little bit, partner.
It hurts. LaRoche, ball one. Up for the first time, Andy LaRoche. Spent a few years with the Pirates in the National League. He's hitting .235. He was always a third baseman with the Pirates, and a good one defensively. That's a called strike. 1-1. He just never hit very well. The A's have converted him into a utility player. So in spring training, he would play all over the infield. He's in there at third base tonight, entered as part of a double switch. A soaring pop-up. Sanchez backpedaling. Here is Torres. He calls him off. 2 down. And the leadoff man, Coco Crisp, will come up. And Crisp is you got 2 down and nobody on. Things seem to be well in hand, but Crisp can be a one-man rally all by himself. He's a base stealer, and I'm sure they'd rather just see him make an out right now than start creating havoc on the base paths.
Well, 2 guys you fear in extra innings, guys with power and guys with speed.
Tejada close to the line at third. Got the low strike that time. It's 0-1.
A guy with speed, he upsets the defense. You've got to respect his ability to bunt, bring in your corner infielders. Your middle infielders have to come in a couple of steps because they have to respect his speed. It just wreaks havoc with everybody.
Down and away. Crisp is 1 for 4. His one hit, a big chop off the glove of Tejada at third back in the 8th inning. Both Crisp and Lopez have been around a long time. They might even have been teammates for a while in Boston in the American League. Shallow left. Here is Ross, and the inning is over. 3 up, 3 down. They keep Crisp off the bases. Now Burris coming up, then Torres. 2011, two of the top pitching teams in Major League Baseball. The A's lead the American League in pitching, and we've seen why tonight. But the Giants come up now in the 10th inning against the Oakland closer, Brian Fuentes, a long-time National Leaguer. The Giants have seen him quite often. The A's, in bringing in Fuentes, make another double switch. Ryan Sweeney goes into center field, replacing Coco Crisp. Although I'm not exactly sure the point of these double switches, because they double switched when they brought Ziegler into the game in the 9th inning. And then they just used him for the 1 inning anyway.
Well, usually when you double switch, you're going to try and get three innings out of a guy.
So maybe, well, and they really don't need 3 innings out of anybody. They started this game with 9 relievers. They brought 3 new ones in from the minor leagues before the game. So here's Fuentes against Emmanuel Burris. Ball 1 outside. Fuentes, long time with the Colorado Rockies. Fuentes with Oakland, though, with a 3.98 ERA. Burris, a switch hitter, batting right-handed, and he has been a much better hitter in his young professional career as a right-handed hitter. He was hot with Fresno, hitting the ball real well, especially from this side, the right side.
And he's got a little pop from the right side.
So Burris, I think, was very pleased to get a chance to bat right-handed here. Two and 1 the count. Burris, who can create trouble if he just gets on base. At Fresno this year, in 21 games, he was hitting .361 and had 16 steals in 21 games. His 16 steals tied for most among all players in AAA this year. He helped him 2 and 2.
Now, one thing about Brian Fuentes is he's always relied on deception. There was a time, he was low to mid 90s with his fastball. Now he's 88 to 90 consistently with a curveball slider. But you don't pick him up. He's got a little slingshot take back when he separates his hands, and you don't see the ball very, very early in his delivery. And I think it's even harder for right-handers to pick up his delivery than lefties.
2 and 2. And a foul out of play. Fuentes, usually when you think back to Fuentes' days with the Colorado Rockies, one of his hallmarks, much like Javier Lopez for the Giants, keeping the ball down. But he's been up with most of these pitches here to Emmanuel Burris. Andres Torres on deck. Freddie Sanchez due up third. The third baseman, LaRoche, is really hugging the line deep behind the bag. Just off the inside, and that was down. 3 and 2. Here's Torres. Giants have only 3 hits in this game. They have received 4 walks, and one of those walks eventually became the Giants' run. That was all the way back in the first inning. They have not scored since. Oakland tied it in the 5th inning. 3 and 2 the count. And a pop foul down into the Oakland bullpen area and up into the crowd.
Give you an idea just how hard it is to see his motion. You see the slingshot, you don't see the ball, and then all of a sudden the low 3/4 release, and it can get on you quick. That 90-mile-an-hour fastball can feel a bit faster just because you don't see it early.
Three and 2. 8th pitch of the battle. And he chased that high fastball and lofted it foul. down the right field line into the crowd. Fuentes got a loss the day before yesterday against Minnesota, and he's lost 4 times this year. 1 win and 4 losses. He's had 9 saves and 11 save opportunities. Last year was the closer with the Angels in the American League at the start of the year, but finished being traded to Minnesota as a setup man with the Twins. 3-2. Right through that open hole, base hit. Quite an at bat for young Manny Burris.
And now let the games begin, because as you mentioned, he is a real threat to steal a bag. Worked the count to 3-2. Fastball. That was not a bad pitch either. That was on a corner. Stayed inside it, found a hole. And that's exactly what the Giants are looking for. A leadoff runner with some speed.
So now it's Bob Guerin out to the mound, the manager. So there's the thought about the Giants bunting, the thought about Burris taking off, little hit and run action, the straight steal attempt. So they have a few things to talk over in terms of what Bob Guerin wants done with those various possibilities.
Well, and the same thing's going on in the mind of Bruce Bochy. I mean, he has opportunities here because of the speed of Burris. Do you bunt Torres? Do you let him take a pitch, possibly let Emmanuel Burris have a shot at trying to steal a base?
Barton on the bag at first with Burris, who gets a long lead. Fuentes throws over there. Fuentes has been around a long time. He's got a deceptive motion. Looks like, can you get a jump against him to steal a base?
Yeah, you can. He's got a couple of different moves, but you have to pick the right one. He can be quick.
The bunt. And Ellis covering. So Torres moves him up. Giants didn't get too fancy. Let's go ahead, bunt him over. They'll have a couple of shots with a couple of their best hitters to knock him in and win this game. Starting with Freddie Sanchez.
Now, the A's really have improved themselves in the outfield with arms. Ryan Sweeney's got the best arm of the A's outfielders, and he's in center field as Coco Crisp has left this game. But DeJesus in right and Willingham in left are average arms at best.
They're going to walk Freddie Sanchez because the percentage of the left-hander versus the left-hander is out there with Aubrey Huff on deck. However, Aubrey Huff is 2 for 5 lifetime against Fuentes. On the other hand, Freddie Sanchez, Fuentes has never retired him. Freddie is 4 for 4 plus a walk the 5 times he's faced Brian Fuentes. So I think that was an easy decision for Bob Guerin.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. You guys got those kind of numbers. That's big time ownage. You know, and this really is the type of an at bat that Aubrey Huff needs to get going. You come through in a scenario like this against a tough lefty, a closer, a base hit that has your team win a ball game. Well, guess what? It may have a huge carryover effect at tomorrow's game.
Last year, Aubrey Huff, and he had an excellent year for the Giants, was, if anything, he was even better against left-handed pitching than he was against right-handed pitching. At a .296 average against lefties, .287 against right-handers. And he also hit with power against lefties. It would not take much power right now for the Giants to win this game. A base hit to the outfield could get it done. But the fleet-footed Emmanuel Burris, the possible winning run at second base. The shortstop, Pennington, right behind him, trying to keep him close. Just off the outside. That was a close one.
Well, I think Aubrey Huff, his strength is middle away. You feed that side of the plate consistently as at bat, and that's feeding his strength.
Huff is 0 for 3 tonight. 2 fly balls to center and a ground out to second. He was walked intentionally himself his last time up. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And you see the defense straight away in the outfield with Sweeney a few steps over the right center field gap. They do take De Jesus playing basically straight away at AT&T. It's 5 steps out of normal straightaway right field. But in this ballpark, he's covering the gap.
That's a base hit. Right center field. Here comes Burris. De Jesus airlifts one. The Giants have won it. And Aubrey Huff, who has struggled so much in this 2011 season, gets that base hit. And the Giants win another hard-fought, low-scoring battle at AT&T Park.
It's just as advertised. You got great starting pitcher with Ryan Vogelsong, Trevor Cahill, and the bullpen's picked up, and it was just a grind. And it was Manny Burris who really created the opportunity with a great 3-2 base hit and set it up for Aubrey Huff. Middle away, it's always been his strength, and he knew this game was over as soon as it left the bat. And what a great way to come home and get things started.
The Giants take round 1 in the Bay Bridge series here in 2011 in 10 innings, 2-1 Giants, and we'll be back.